Yep. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. Is that better? Someone say something, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Cool. Something happened with Streamlabs and the whole thing went too wacky. I
Grab
don't
lab.
know why. Yeah, it changed what my audio was being output through on Streamlabs, which didn't help. Situation. So yeah, but seems to be okay now.
Let me look this up.
Stopped. So, hello and welcome everybody to Crabby D&D. I am here with my players, Sudz,
Hello.
Harlan,
Hello.
Simon,
Hello.
Jamie,
Hello.
and Infernal.
Hello.
We have no Sam. He's not going to be here tonight, so yeah, he may be here later on. We'll see, but for now he's not here at the moment. Righty. Thank just notice for all the artwork that gets put through that I use various creatures and enemies in this game. I look forward to some of the more art coming down the pipework. This is done on Tabletop Simulator. Thank you, Dungeon Player Studio. You have run your course. You have been very useful at various times. However, Incarnate, on the other hand, has started making a battle map version, not just detailed overworld maps. So I'm going to be switching over to them because I honestly prefer that resource. So yeah, for the foreseeable future, all battle maps and maps will be made in Incarnate.com. So go and check that out. And any audio or music that you hear has most likely come from Tabletop Audio or from the Battle for West North game when they might still be free domain. If they're not, I got all their stuff when it was, so I don't know how the legalities work, but I'll find out at a later date if it matters to me. So yeah, I believe that's all of the announcements I need to bring up. So, you guys are ready? We shall begin.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yep, cool.
Yep.
Last session, our party of adventurers. Elsyan, Queglod, Sasha, Malcom, Bern, and Rook had made their way into the Crystal Cavern, travelling through its winding passageways and opened up mine shafts, where they discovered crystal spiders' nests, purple worm hollows, and a strange crystal guardian sanctum, which was otherwise guarding and watching over the Venacious Horror. As the party saw what was going on, they moved into position to defeat the Venacious Horror and the source of the shards that Elsyan was otherwise looking for. As they entered in, they found the Venacious Horror playing various games with them, hiding, and for some reason some of their magic didn't work. Sooner or later they understood why, as the creature in the Venacious Horror itself was identified to be a humanoid form with a beholder-like creature for a head. With the anti-magic cone cast, the various eye rays used against the party suffered in some regard, fighting against the Venacious Horror, before eventually felling Venacious Horror and claiming the shard, but not without cost. In the midst of the battle, Elsyan had taken a death ray, surviving on the last few threads of his life force, before he was struck with a disintegration ray. With his abilities unable to help him in that moment, his body crumbled to dust, Sasha being the only one to truly witness it, the rest of the party being around but not seeing it brilliantly, not being there in person. With this occurring, the party had defeated the Venacious Horror but mourned the death of their fallen companion. They made their way back to Tower Keen, debriefed the situation, and had otherwise gone to bed. And as each of you sleeps in the bunk beds, the barracks themselves, getting rest as best you can, Sasha, you rest. With prior attempts calling out to a Turan attempting to reach out to her. You lie there in bed, asleep. As you see before you the Venacious horror falling to the ground, the shattering of the crystal, the ringing in your ears of that sound. You watch as she lands and Elsyan forms some form of incantation ever so lightly. You watch as the psionic energy strikes the Venacious horror as it gets back up on little to no health, and with its last efforts hits Elsyan. You watch as the thin green beam extends from the eye stalk, striking through his clothing and upper right shoulder. You watch as he goes down onto his knees. In that moment, gasp for air to reach out. As Elsyan goes down to his knees, he turns, his body beginning to crumble. What do you do?
I pump literally whatever healing magic I know into him. I am casting Regenerate if I have access to it. I'm running over to him and doing everything I can to try and save him. Even if I know it's already happened, I can't not try.
You rush up to the form, expending the magic as you can, as you try to do so. The magic tries to fight back as his form begins to crumble to dust, falling apart bit by bit. You hold him there in your arms as he crumbles, you now on your knees as the dust filters through your fingertips and gauntlets. You sit there with your hands clenched almost, uncertain. At this point in time, as this event is occurring, Malcom, you're lying in bed, otherwise asleep, as you begin to hear rustling and you awake, look around, hear something moving within the room around you.
I try to see if I can see what is rustling around in the room.
You lean over the edge of your bed, kind of getting a look around before you hear groaning as Sasha's head is turning from side to side, beads of sweat rushing down her face, as she seems to be experiencing some form of nightmare, before she begins to call out Elsyan's name.
Is there anything I can do to, like, try and help her relax, I guess?
It's up to you. What would you like to try?
Let me just get my stuff. I guess I will. I know she's not hurt, but maybe the soothing effect of, like, cure wounds or something would help. So
Okay.
I'd like to go up and use cure wounds to try and help her relax.
Okay.
With it.
Go ahead and roll me a d20. As you move over to her, you place your hand, or as you quickly kind of climb down from the top bunk, move over and place your hand on her and pump a cure wounds into her. The soothing effect of it seems to calm her, but only slightly. She is still sweating, but kind of the groans and the crying out has quietened. Bern, you've been woken up by this, or
What's wrong?
She's having a nightmare about Elsyan.
Can you wake her up?
Sure, I attempt to wake her up.
Easily enough, given the essence of the effects. How do you wake her? Way to ask.
I guess I kind of like grab her by her shoulders and kind of like gently shake, saying, Sasha, wake up. It's a dream. Wake up.
Grab her by her shoulders and shake her awake.
I am preparing an action that I have just sent you in chat, Chris.
Okay. Do wake up, I will say that much. Okay. You wake up in a start, as the form of Malcom is otherwise there before you. In your panic, go ahead and roll me a d20 and add your strength modifier, please.
I'm just gonna punch him in the balls this time. I mean,
Oh, okay.
That's a 23!
You go to strike against Malcom as you're otherwise there. You shake her awake. She wakes up in a start, in a panic, and in that moment, her arm reflexively strikes out at you. It goes more for the torso, as there is a creature looming over her. But as the strike hits your torso, you feel yourself pushed back by the effort as you kind of stumble back a bit, taking no real damage, but otherwise shocked by the event of this all.
Can I hellish rebuke but not do damage?
Unfortunately, Hellish Rebuke is a spell, and there's no way to mitigate damage on a spell.
Oh.
Calm down. Having a
Sorry. Oh, God.
sweet dreams.
How long have I slept for?
I'd say you guys have probably slept for about 4 hours or so, so this is probably getting close to midnight at this time. Because I believe you slept early because you got back early and went to bed almost immediately.
Sorry, Malcom. Not,
Are you okay?
Not really. But, unless you happen to be able to turn back time or bring someone back from the dead when there's nothing left of them, I don't really think I'll be okay for a little while anyhow.
I was thinking we could probably talk to the gold dragon I talked to in Adamantia. He's
Oh, yes.
known as Scholar. Yeah, Kathop.
Okay, thanks.
He has gathered. He gathers information. That's sort of his hoard, you could say.
I would like that.
When we
Whatever
get,
happens, he's coming back.
of course.
But I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. Would anyone like anything?
Tea sounds good. I will make the tea. You relax, calm down. Don't push yourself. And I go and make tea.
Sasha just like sitting like knees up on the bed, just haunted stare.
Bern, do you wish to do anything?
What are we dreaming of, Sasha?
I think you could take a guess. The last moments. Elsyan falling to dust. In my arms, nothing I can do about it.
There was nothing you can do about it. It wasn't your fault.
That doesn't make it better. And damn it, there is something I can do about it. I'm gonna bring that motherfucker back and then put him in the grave myself.
I'll say Rook and Queglod, if the two of you would like to make constitution checks just to see if you're still asleep or awake. I'll let you decide what the DC will be for your characters.
Okay, let me give it a roll and then.
Bob?
I'll let you decide your DCs.
Okay. In that case, yeah. Looks kind of awake.
Yeah, I guess Queglod's waking up at this point then.
Hmm. Is everything okay?
That's certainly a question, isn't it?
She was having a nightmare.
Oh. Was it about the events of today?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
can understand. Well, I don't know really much on to say. I can't really say much about thing, but hopefully Otoran will prevail eventually. Especially if you keep pestering her.
Hopefully.
We can hope. Where's Malcom?
Making tea. I was going to make it, but then he decided to make it something to calm the nerves a little.
He's making tea. And he didn't offer me tea.
Well, you were asleep. Kind of hard to. Well, what was he going to do? Be like, Rook, Rook, do you want some tea? I mean, really, what was the plan there?
True. I might go and make myself a cup of tea. Here come up. Might as well just have a drink and settle down a bit. Might see if I can find some food. Wonder if there's any biscuits. Sasha, do you want any biscuits?
No, I just some tea to
Anyone
calm me
else?
down and head to bed.
No, I'll probably be heading back to bed soon.
I'm gonna get some biscuits.
Fair enough. What time is it at this point?
Probably midnight. You've got another 4 and a bit
Okay.
hours to sleep or so. Benefit your full rest.
Okay.
The only people who might suffer are those who are going to go up and do something, but Malcom can recover from sleep for just add an extra hour on.
Look out the window. Holy crap.
Okay.
It's late.
Inside these
Forget
barracks,
the tea.
inside the barracks there are no windows.
Are there not?
You're in an enclosed section of the building, which is just bunk beds.
Alright, well I'm gonna get biscuits and I have no idea what the time is.
You wander off. As you wander off to where the kitchens may be, you see Malcom currently there brewing a what looks to be a pot of water, and just preparing various medicinal herbs in small pots, of course, cups lined up.
Hi Malcolm.
Hello, Rook.
Can I request a tea as well, please?
I was planning on. I had a feeling other people might wake up, so I was planning on making tea for everybody and a couple snacks so that people can
Just bring a tea. A teapot is probably a good shout. Yeah.
guess teapot.
Yep.
And some snacks so that people can relax and get back to sleep.
If you really are on the ball, I was coming down for snacks, but apparently I don't need to worry about that. Okay, well, do you want a hand carrying it all back up?
That would be lovely.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for that to happen. Jeez.
Grab the kettle hot off the boil and pick that up as it begins to bristle. Take it off of the cooking plate, lifting it up and taking it back to the rooms where you enter back in. Bern's otherwise climbed back into bed and is currently trying to get back to sleep. Queglod, you sit on your bed, I presume, and keeping Sasha company while she seems to be
Yeah.
recovering from it.
You know, if it would be helpful for you to speak with him.
Sasha looks up, halfway between hopeful and fearful, honestly. Maybe.
Well, I am keeping his soul safe in Nightmaker. So it should be possible to communicate with him. Not too much, since he is supposed to be dead, but if it would be helpful, then I don't doubt that he'll complain, but I'm sure he'll be okay with it.
I think I need a clear head for that. In the
Understand.
morning.
Yes.
But in the
I'm
morning,
sure
I'd like to.
Yes, no, I understand. This is a difficult situation for everyone.
Queglod,
Yes.
you have a connection to death beyond all of us.
You could say that, yeah.
Why is it never me?
Do you mean in a literal sense, or more of a poetic one? I think you know why it's literally never you.
I am never the one to take the big hit. When, for all reasoning, I'm the one that should. My family, the Hold, Chronicle, even to a degree Sovek, and now Elsyan.
I can understand how you would come to feel that way, but as your friend, I have to caution you against going down that road. No mortal can really be privy to the forces of destiny. Trying to obsess over it in that way is only going to hurt you. Well,
You're right.
Well, anyway, I'm sure Malcolm will be back in a moment. You try and rest as well as you can. In the morning, we'll take stock of what's going on, work out a plan.
Sleep well, Queglod.
Yes, you too.
As Rook and Malcolm come back through the door, carrying what looks to be a kettle, a tray of various cups, and a small selection of basic what look to be crackers. Given this is a barracks, there isn't much in the cupboards, and in the way of food, most of what you'd need would require proper preparation to be a meal. But for light snacks, you have a series of crackers, a little bit of butter to go with.
Okay, Queglod's going to go back to sleep at this point.
I'm going to take a cup of tea, slowly sip it, and once I feel I have calmed down somewhat, go back to bed.
I'm just going to drink my tea, have a mouthful of biscuit, go to bed.
Okay. Malcolm?
I'm going to wait till everybody gets to bed and clean up and then go to bed.
Clean up, get back to rest. As each of you get back to rest, more peaceful now. But Sasha, for you, it's not as easy. Where you're usually a heavy sleeper, there's a semblance of fear whenever you close your eyes. But do the best you can, and eventually you nod off, and exhaustion otherwise takes you to sleep, rest for the night. The morning comes around, as most of you were otherwise, or as all of you were disturbed during the night. Sleep on for that little bit of extra time. As Rook, you are one of the few who wakes up relatively early, while the rest of the party is otherwise, getting up and performing their daily needs. So Sasha begins performing prayers to a Turan, Malcom begins to prepare breakfast and otherwise a meal for the rest of you, as Bern otherwise sits up and begins to study the arcanic runes, and Queglod performs the morning prayers to the Raven Queen and make sure that Felipe is otherwise well kept. You head off, exploring the rest of this and handling the debrief early in the morning, as the rest of the party was otherwise disinterested or occupied at the time. You leave the barracks, heading to the tower, speaking with the general and saying what has been said. As you return back to the party, into the barracks, Sasha is just about finishing equipping her armor. You see Malcom is doing some morning stretches in preparation for the day. You can see that Bern is otherwise just sat there doing a little bit of fumbling around with bits of crystal and metal in his hand, and Queglod otherwise lifts Felipe up onto her shoulder, as your party seems to be prepared for whatever the day may bring.
I'd assume that by this point I've done the divine intervention for today.
Yes, because I believe we did that last session.
Yes,
when you
we
woke
did.
up.
I just wanted to work out the timeline.
That's fine.
Right. Obviously, to refresh memory, there was essentially I came fucking close. I want that known.
Not quite.
But not quite. And the Turan essentially said that there is something that could happen. There is some potential to return Elsyan to life. It just isn't exactly clear to me yet what that is.
Okay. I recognise this is very much a secondary issue, but if Elsyan does come back, is the seed going to come back as well?
Roll me an Arcana check. I'll say anybody proficient with Arcana can go ahead and roll if they wish.
I would like Featherwing to roll, please.
That's an 18 total.
Proficient in Arcana?
Yeah, proficient in Arcana.
No.
That is a 21.
Feathering's understanding of magic is fairly sourced towards her own spell, or his own spells. But to some degree, and as you would understand as well, Queglod, once a spell or an effect has been dispelled, it can't come back with a reiteration of the spell being cast. There are some spells, such as, say for example, Knock, can suppress the effects of Magic Lock, but they don't outright destroy them. Spell magic destroys the essence of whatever magical effect was lingering there.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you've done, due to the raw nature of it and how it appeared in that moment, it has been destroyed.
Okay. So I don't think that's something we're going to have to worry about then.
Right.
And that being
after you start.
that being the case,
What's been destroyed?
the seed that was in Elsyan's head. That being the case, we should at some point look into getting ours destroyed. Sasha, I don't know how possible that's likely to be, but we can look into it since we know it's theoretically something we can do.
Taking the blood to Abbott seems like a good first step. Whatever happens. If anyone knows of a way to return someone to life from some blood, it's probably Abbott. I think that's fair to say.
If he can't do it himself, he can probably point us in the right direction, at least.
Yeah. By my reckoning, Toran says that there is a possibility of bringing him back. Maybe purely through her power, maybe through some other means. All I know is, I think at this point she's kind of getting that this isn't going to stop. I'm going to keep pestering her, because this is important. And, well, I mean, what other choice is there? Regardless, I'm going to be doing as much research as I can into resurrection as a whole and anything that might be particularly pertinent to this situation, i.e. disintegration. But, I don't know. Where would be the best place to start, do you think?
Well, the library in Adamantia does have a lot of books, although they may start asking questions if you start looking for particularly esoteric information.
That much is true. That much is very true. I'm honestly not sure how to word that, you know. I don't think it's wrong to want to bring someone back. As long as it's not done in a harmful way. But, I suppose the question becomes, how will other people see it? I know that I am not exactly in a perfect state of mind at the moment. Does Tower Keen have a library? If we can't decide where to go or what to do.
Tower Keen does not have a library. Unfortunately, as a previous mining town and otherwise being now a garrison, it consists of a barracks, a warehouse, and that's about it. There are a number of houses which have otherwise been renovated into barracks or living quarters for mine workers and other individuals, but where that operation stopped, however many years ago, most of the town is otherwise abandoned. A few carpenters to maintain it and a few blacksmiths to keep weapon stock up. But other than that, the town's pretty bare bones outside of just being a garrison.
Right. So, who ended up going to talk with the general in the end?
Am I back from that?
Yeah. You walked in
right.
and the rest of your party was ready for the day.
Oh, okay. I did a debrief. Yeah.
Instant sweat drop. Oh no.
Yeah. No one else joined me. I turned up at the stairs waiting, and there was no one. And then it was like, well, I can't just run away from this, so I had to go in.
I'd intended to join you. I experienced a disruption.
Well, I mean, it was a long night last night, so you know,
That's true.
heads all over the place. But it went as well as you can imagine me handling something like that. So I might have told
Right, who
them...
wants to move to the Barrenlands? Let's move in with either Rook's wife or or Malcolm's aunt.
Oh shit!
I'm scared of that.
Oh my
I'm
god!
scared of going back.
So I'm moving to the Alliance. So.
Yep.
I'm
No, we're kidding. We're
Oh
kidding.
my god! Yeah, jokes.
Right.
No.
Right.
So. Jesus. No, it went well.
Malcolm. Roll me an intelligence check, please.
And intelligence.
Yeah.
Aye, sir.
Something that I've just realised, which is actually very relevant. Potentially.
I don't suppose Malcolm has diplomatic immunity or something.
No.
Yes, 14.
14. Sasha mentions moving to the Barrenland. You think for a moment. You go, well, I can't go there. It's not a good time to go there. It might cause trouble. And then you think of something, which me as the DM didn't realise until just now. The Queen of the Barrenlands is an exceptionally powerful druid. Your grandfather, who is weaker than her, has you've seen him cast the 9th level spell Foresight. And he uses it in trivial battles against people because it's a powerful ability spell. If he's weaker than the Queen, she may have similar capabilities. Do you understand that somewhere down the line, you and Sasha can both learn True Resurrection? She may be one of the few people in the world who currently has access to it, outside of your grandfather, who's currently in the Alliance at war, and her, who lives in the capital of the Barrenlands. But you also understand that to go back there now could lead down a very slippery slope of various things you might have to undertake as a returning prince.
Yeah.
I can smell it. There's a possibility.
I'm not being stuck in the Barrenlands. Are you kidding me?
It's fine. I don't know, teleport you out, or I don't know. Ooh! You could write us a letter, and I'll take it there, and I'll bring back, and I will seduce the Queen of the Barrenlands into bringing back Elsyan.
So do you reckon she'll revive Sasha as well?
I mean...
God,
Oh my god.
No, but it's a possibility I've only just considered. So.
Yeah, I thought about it. It's just, I don't...
I mean, we could just go to the front and find your granddaddy.
So our options are go see the Queen of the Barrenlands, go to potentially Oregon, or go to the front in the Alliance. So...
None of them are good options!
Oh yeah, by the way, we might have to go to Oregon.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so,
Huh?
well, the debrief, as I said, went really, really, really well, in my standards. I might have well, I didn't think about it until after, though I was tied in my defense, so you left me to it, so madness happened. But they did find out that we are the Dawn Marshals, and I told them about Motalin, is his name? I hope that's a correct name.
Everyone knows about Motalin. What do you mean you told them about Motalin?
Well, I told them that Motalin basically said that we're the next generation of Dawn Marshals. Neodal. Well, whoever. One of the...
Please tell me he didn't say, oh yes, Motal. I mean, technically,
No, I didn't.
Neodal is a point.
He did say Motalin, because he asked who was the dragon who worked with the Dawn Marshals, and I was like, Harlan. He didn't ask for the angel's name.
There's a degree of separation there that I think we need to make. Okay, What I'm getting here is we need to go talk to that general right the fuck now.
Well, the letter's being sent to Oregon. I might have actually also actually mentioned that Major Rupture was cast, and the Queglod has currently got Elsyan's soul.
Malcolm is
stick.
packing his bags immediately.
Baseball.
Okay.
If they have a
Okay.
problem with
Rook,
that last one, they should take it up with the Raven Queen.
Rook. Okay, everyone, we are going to talk to the general. We are going to hopefully stop that fucking letter. And I don't even know anymore.
Well,
I am filled with so much rage.
yeah.
Not at you, Rook, just at the whole situation in general.
Though, in fairness, shouldn't we go and inform them in Oregon? What? I mean, I know this is going to be really bad timing, but with Elsyan's passing, that could happen on any of our adventures to any of us, potentially all of us. And if somewhere like Oregon isn't made aware of something like the Prince of Blood, who's amassing an army, and we disappear, and
We
never
already
tell them.
we already had it's not Regan, it's the other one.
Okay.
No, lady.
Rahal.
Lady. Rohal, there it is. We already had Hurricane or Rohal or someone send letters over to Oregon saying, "Hey, this fucker exists. Do something." And we haven't heard anything back, as far as I'm aware.
Did we?
I
Yeah.
don't remember. But
Remember we talked. Well, we remember. Well, last time we were in Adamanthia, we basically said, "Hey, there's this guy called the Prince of Blood, and he's doing some hinky shit to Rohal, and I think it might have even been one of the new governory people who came in."
You said it to the new you said it to the new marshal, and you said it to Rohal, who then proceeded to say that she'd pass it on to the rest of her connections, and she'd see if she can dig up anything. She otherwise hasn't gotten back to you on that.
Yeah.
I just feel that they should really be informed, because if he turns up on their door with an army and they're not prepared,
it
could go horribly.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. But I still want to talk to this guy just to make sure he's got like the full spectrum of the story, rather than, the no doubt slightly inaccurate and potentially really, really bad for us version that's come from Rook. No offense.
I think I did too bad.
I just think ending on the, he told me his major rupture and his soul in.
He didn't seem to really realise that. I think he was just more interested in what's going in the cavern. I do feel that if you go in there and start addressing, oh, by the way, about the major rupture, then it might be made
I'm
a
not
little bit
going
more
to
aware
do
to
that.
him.
I know. I'm not. I know I use a hammer, but I'm not that much of a blunt instrument.
I don't think him not realizing is the problem.
Yeah.
If Oregon finds out, this might be a problem.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with the spell. It's just a spell, but there are some negative connotations to it.
Right. But my working knowledge is, doesn't he serve the king? And if he starts withholding information from said king...
Again, it's not about withholding information, it's about getting our story straight. Yes, we've told people that we're the Dawn Marshals. Adamanthia is vaguely aware of it, as far as I'm aware. As long as we make it clear as we're not hiding anything, we are just adventurers going about our business, trying to, do the adventurer thing of not fucking ruining the plan, of trying to not have the world end. And I think having a conversation to sort of work out what his thoughts are and make sure that he hasn't got any misconceptions about us might be helpful to us in the long run.
Okay, well, you do that, then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And there is a part of me that just went, Elsyan, do you want to come along? And now I'm crying inside.
So who's going to speak with the general?
I will go. Anyone with charisma want to come with me?
I'll join you.
I'll join him as well.
Oh, thank God.
I'll go back.
I guess I will go as well.
It's not
Rook's
like
just
I
left
sent
alone
anything
in the
to-
barracks again.
I'm going.
Oh, you're
We have-
going? Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
said you were staying. Just
No, I'm
Rook
going.
stays
He's
in
going
the
back
barracks.
around too.
Yeah.
He ain't done. He needs to spill more secrets.
Yeah,
Spill more
yeah,
beans.
He's going
There's-
around now and be like, guys.
You know that tea we drank last night? He's gonna spill it.
Yeah, I've got more information I need to share with this guy.
Oh, motherfucker.
He's gonna go in there and be like, yo, this guy used major rupture. I hear pointing to Bird. It's
He's
fucking
also-
illegal.
He's also a vampire. You might not believe this. Crazy.
He works for a shady organization, you know.
So,
We all work for a shady organization,
Oh yeah,
frankly.
he has 2 slimes in his body too.
Oh yeah, and that. Yeah, I've got to make sure I get that out there.
as you
Listen, I
head,
don't think you can say anything about Sasha that's too revealing.
Part of the original party smuggled
worship
shit
a
into
Turan?
Adamantia. Yeah, actually, yeah, I could do that one.
You don't know that. Rook was... You how would
Rook
Rook
knows that.
possibly know that?
because
That you worship a
in-
Turan.
Oh no, me worshiping Torah, that's completely fine. The someone smuggling thing in, that was all Behold as far as I'm aware.
I believe you've talked about it before. When we
Smut
were
book
talking about
what?
the smut books. How you got up to...
Okay,
Hold on.
everything
Smoke
else
is
up
what?
until now has been bad enough. Please do not tell the Emperor about the smart books.
Oh, yeah.
alright.
Alright.
The straw that
the,
breaks
par-
the camel's
the
back.
party goes to Oregon and they get interrogated for various things. They pass that all off, and then he just goes, "Now about these smut books." The party just starts sweating bullets.
It's like, I could forgive you for major rupture, but these smut books...
This
Look,
is some
look,
illegal
look.
content in here.
The Goliath and the Halfling is not a smut book. It is tasteful erotica.
I have a list of them
Art.
if you want to remember them.
where are they?
They're currently in the tavern, but I have
The
a list of
forbidden
them.
blood.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Oh yeah, the Goliath and the Halfling was actually one. Well done, Sasha.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
You still have all
I
of them.
remember my smut book.
Oh no, you remember them.
Only that one. Only that one.
There were quite a few. I think got 12 here. 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. Yeah.
Alright, if they do
Right.
ask, we're just gonna blame Abbott. It's his.
Exactly. Yep. Oh yeah. Please, no one tell anyone about Apple.
I didn't
Rook.
mention Abbott. I didn't
Good.
do it.
Good
As you-
boy.
As you travel across the courtyard into the tower, having this conversation with one another, none of the guards seem to be caring. They're just a bunch of individuals moving across the courtyard. They've seen you around and stuff like that. As you travel into the main tower, a number of guards otherwise sat there, and they note your arrival. The individual at the bottom of the stairs just looks over and moves over towards you. Have you come to make your decision then?
Yes.
Ah, wonderful.
What decision? What the fuck?
And
What's going on?
otherwise proceeds to
Which decision is this?
About us going with the note or it being sent.
Right.
as you're led up to the first door on the right up the stairs. As the door is knocked on, you're otherwise gestured to go in, and the general is currently sat there with a number of papers on the table. You can see that the commander is otherwise there, but the captain is not here this time. As the commander looks up and goes, "Ah, looks like they've arrived. Did you finish deciding whether you were going to travel? Or whether you were
Wow,
going to
his
stay?"
voice has really changed.
No, this is the commander, the creepy guy you met on the stairs.
I thought that was just a second captain.
You've got 2 captains, 1 commander, and a general. The general was the one who'd had enough. The commander was the one who challenged the gate captain when you were on the way up the stairs, who had kind of a hushed voice, kind of like this. And then there was the door captain, who was the half-orc individual who you met on your way back in.
Then who was the second captain? Because I thought the commander was the second captain.
No, the second captain is the Tiefling, who was the captain of the gate.
Okay. Sorry, just wanted to get that straight. Okay.
That's fine. You got Captain Frezzo, Captain Lawrence, you got Commander Kirk, and you've got General.
I like that. Commander Kirk.
Someone with charisma want to take this? Because I honestly can't think what to say in this situation to not get fucked over.
Well, this is why it went bad. Are we going to take it with us, or shall we just let them send it?
Right.
That was the first decision.
Well,
so
first
you
things
haven't
first, we
discussed this.
We have,
sort
but
of have. It's one of those situations of like we're trying to work out, do we need to make sure that everyone gets we want to make sure that that you get the full spectrum of everything before sending it off, otherwise it just feels
with matters of
dishonest.
this importance, we want to make sure that all the facts are straight.
I'll be taking care of the letter. You don't have to worry about that. It's just whether you're heading with it. I've got the transcript from the quill that wrote it down, and I've otherwise taken the your mention of this Prince of Blood individual and his force that may be potentially attacking Tower Key.
Yeah.
I've put in the request for
hopefully
reinforcements.
we've dealt with that for the moment.
Still, I've put in the request for reinforcements for if it is needed, as well as the mining crew to come back and take care of the digging from the rest of it. Obviously, any update will follow the report based on the scout that you'll be taking care of. Gesturing to Rook.
oh yes, yeah. I'm taking a guy down there. By the way, just forgot to say.
Rook, can we get you like a little notebook to write these things down in?
The meal will be going ahead as normal tomorrow, and I hope you'll all be there. I hope you'll all be there.
Sorry, as you can probably tell, there have been some matters of miscommunication here.
I have to say, in my defense, Sasha, you cut me up every time I said something. I have a list. The list is feast, head to Oregon, discuss something I can't even read my own writing. I announced Dawn Marshals. Announced being Dawn Marshals. Accidentally said about hematurgy and about Queglod's stick with.
This is Jamie saying this. Okay, yeah. This is Jamie saying this.
This is Jamie saying this. As he begins to read through his list, the captain says, "Did you want?" Well, the general said, "Did you want me to take care of this? Because it seems like." Have you? I take it you've all just woken up, given the fact that it's been about half an hour since I sent him back.
Yes. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Right. So the matter at hand is basically as follows. I've gained the account of what happened down there, the passing of your friend, the defeating of the spiders, and the events that transpired after that. The purple worms.
The disgusting abomination down there, yes.
The purple worms, the crystalline creature guardian things, and the abomination which was otherwise killed, as well as, which, from what I've heard, is folded up in a pot somewhere.
We gotta deal with that. I suggest a lot of fire.
As well as the stairway down, and if there may be anything down there. We're going to be sending a number of carvers as well as a scout to see if there is a purple worm warren. We're otherwise going to be checking to see if there are any purple worms.
Oh, yes. We, you remember people talking about people disappearing in shadows and the like? We believe that was the purple worms that was causing that.
Yes.
Like, digging up under people and...
Now that we know that they were there, that is the most likely reasoning. But we can't dismiss it until we've otherwise looked into it. The matter of the reinforcements and the potential ambush of this Prince of Blood individual. From what I gathered, you wanted an individual with sending or some sending device to be sent here, as well as the information regarding the report of reinforcements heading this, potentially going to be heading this way as well. I told your friend Rook here that in 4 to 5 days I would be getting a report, as I'm sending it by Raven, unless you had quicker means to otherwise get there, in which case you're more than welcome to take the letter yourselves, given that they might ask for a live testimony on regards to the Prince of Blood.
Yes, they would.
Either way, I've requested that you remain here for the next, or that you remain in the area for the next 4 to 5 days, and you return here after which, so that I can update you. Friend looking for work, and I gave him the slips for potential things you could do in the meantime.
I'll be honest.
Is it
before
strictly
right
necessary?
now.
Is it strictly necessary that all of us remain in the area at the same time?
You're
I mean, we
welcome
do
to
have a
leave.
lot.
I'd imagined that as a party you'd be sticking together, but if some of you want to break off and go elsewhere, that's fine, but by the looks of it, leaving one person here hasn't worked out too well for you.
That's true.
And
it's only this matter that we have rather a lot to attend to.
No, I understand. It's
the
more
resurrection of my friend, the trying to stop the Prince of Blood from doing any more harm.
No, I understand. The point is that if the Emperor calls upon
We also
you
have a tavern to run.
If the Emperor calls upon you to make a testimony with regards to this, if you then do not give the testimony, then we will be completely ignoring all further requests until a testimony is given. And it will be given
that's fair.
as without urgency, given that you cannot make time in your schedule. Which is why I'm simply saying if they do request you in Oregon, it's best to be here so that I can tell you.
I'd say we go with the thing to Oregon.
Oh, all of this for that decision. Excellent.
Look, am I crazy, or does that not sound like the best option here?
I think it is the best option.
Oregon does give us a lot of possibilities as far as research goes.
That's what I'm thinking. About the only thing I'd want to do is maybe see about getting the samples back to Adamantia to be dealt with there.
Research? Oh, with regards to bringing back your friend.
Yep. And not an if, it's a when. I'm bringing him back. I refuse any other reality.
I understand that. If you're looking for any information in Oregon, you're better off asking the Emperor to do it himself. Only the ones who are the keeper of the information are the GIF. They reside over Oregon in their fortress city, but they hold all the information and arcane knowledge. They have some skilled individuals, but most of them went to war. If you're looking for information, you're going to need to get through them, but they're a very secretive bunch.
We've dealt with secretive before. Okay, so asking the Emperor to bring someone back.
It was a figure of speech. In other words, it'd be nearly impossible.
Oh, look. I can be very persuasive. I'm very charming, as I'm sure you can tell. Smile. I'm kidding.
Persuasion check.
Let's
God,
see.
I've never wanted a nat 20 more. Oh. Okay, that's my persuasion. That's a +5, so 17.
He looks at you and...
Alright, it's kind of charming, I guess.
Chris, is the transcript going to be sent along with the letter, or...?
The transcript will be in the letter, yes.
Okay.
Right.
The transcript will be within the letter itself. I'll be dealing with the transcript and I'll have that sent off with the letter. They'll look over it. The reason I recommended that you stay here is because if you wish to travel with the letter, then that's fine, but it will take more than 4 or 5 days. I've heard that you have methods of travel which are quick, but unless you can get there with the same speed that a raven could fly there, it might be better for me to just send it and then have you arrive at a later date. Because if they know you're on your way, it won't take too long.
How fast does the raven fly?
How fast can raven fly?
5 days to get there, roughly, right?
It's 4 to 5 days for it to fly there, yeah. So if you were to use, say, wind walk, you could probably do it in...
He knows
I say
Well, that depends what route you'd be taking. If you'd be going along the base of the
Actually,
mountain,
we have a faster way to get
Okay,
there.
wait, how fast can... Okay,
Wait, hold
remind
up,
me,
hold
what are the chances of them blowing the shit out of us if we try and get there via teleportation?
No, I had another better. Home city, right?
What? You got quiet at the start of that.
Oh?
Your
Now he's
mic
just-
is
Now
all
it's just
kind of screwed
laggy.
up.
Yeah.
Hello, is this better?
yes.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
better.
Yes.
Seems to be, yeah.
Do you have anything from the city you're from, Sasha?
Okay, so I'm not from Oregon, I'm from... I mean, I guess
Bubble
it's
Hill, isn't it?
closer.
It's
Yes,
closer,
Bubble
that's what I mean.
Yes, actually, I do. I have the Smashfist family book of recipes.
Is that to teleport there and then...
Am I... Is it cool to... Hmm? Right,
How would it take us to get from your home to?
I mean, her home is like right here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right
it's
next.
like-
It's between Coldfield, Bostelon,
Yeah, it's
and Castleform.
Yeah, so here with
it's in the nice little triangle.
So then we could just wind walk the rest of the way quickly.
Yeah, like,
It would be a
it would
day's
take about
travel.
yeah.
So we
We
could
could
get there within a day.
day.
Okay, so would you like to speak about it or me?
I'll do it. We have means to get there within a day or two. If, as we've said, this is, regardless of the current goings on, quite urgent.
Mm.
So that may be better than sending a raven. Feel free to send a raven as well to ensure that, regardless of what happens, the information gets to Oregon. I say this because, well, one of us has already died. Who's to say we won't all die? Hopefully not, but what is life without death? I'm sorry, I think I've gotten a little morbid now.
So you'll take the letter then?
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
take the letter to them.
In
It will
which-
take us about a day.
That's fine. In which case, I'll hand it to you tomorrow after the feast is complete.
Right.
Unless, of course, you wanted to do anything in the meantime, or you wanted to get it at a later date. That's up to you.
I would really rather get there as soon as possible,
Very well.
but that is me. I'm more than happy to open this up to the group.
If we're going to do it, it may be best to try and get it done quickly. If we can deal
Yeah.
with business in Oregon, then that's
Who
as
do
good
we
a
need
place
to take
go
it to in Oregon?
Literally, just yeah. Let's be honest. What is the exact situation there?
With the letter, the Raven would take it to the Rookery in Oregon, which directly connects to Guard Center there, Crimson Conclave. After that, it would be a matter of it would go down the chain until it reached there. If you were to take the letter yourself, then they'd take the letter off your hands at the gate, and then they'd handle it from there. After which, you just need to be with.
Is that the gate of Oregon or the gate of
The gate of Oregon.
Yes. Okay.
After you reach there, you let the guards know that you're otherwise delivering a letter from myself,
Mhm.
and then they'll otherwise take it from there.
Did we get his name?
General George of Tower Key.
You need to know his surname. It's Nazim
George Nazim
of Tower
of
Key.
Tower Key. You had fun coming up with some of these names, didn't you, Chris?
You wait till you get to Oregon.
Oh no.
And here we have King Oregano Oregon. The Orange Oregon Monargan.
Oregano, Oregon.
Emperor Oregano Oregon.
Oregano.
Oregano.
Emperor Oregon.
All right. So
He has
what's
the
the plan?
cutest dog though.
We're going
Jumbo.
there. We're going there as quickly as possible, as soon as possible. What?
So, are we not staying for the feast? Then we're just
Well,
gonna go
we
straight
should
there.
He'll
stay
be
for the
giving you the
feast
letter
and then-
after the feast.
Okay, so we'll just leave as soon as the feast's done. That makes sense, wouldn't it?
Then should
Yeah.
we get to the feast, or get? Yeah.
We might as well do the feast since it's happening, and like, I mean, we have just cleared out this hellhole,
Seems a
so
little
that's
rude
something.
to not stay for the feast that's thrown in on her.
Yeah, like, it would be rude, and look, the fate of the world may hang in the balance, but we're not fucking savages, okay?
Time is the feast.
It is tomorrow at noon.
Noon is 12. Okay.
Yeah,
That
but,
works.
we have
We're
we have like a nice
Now-
heavy
Oh,
feast.
that's fine. If it's not at midnight or like evening, I'm fine.
All right, wonderful.
I mean,
Um,
I start to speak up. Just for personal reasons, would it be okay if I assist cooking in the feast for the feast?
By all means, relieving the stress off of the cook might be, well, for the cooks would be a good idea. He looks at the commander. I'll take you to where the food is prepared.
ooh, a quick
would-
thing. Is it all right? You know what? We're going to be taking it. Bern, do you have it in you to take the remains back to Adamanthia for? Would that be all right?
Well, we can't leave tomorrow if I do that. Oh wait, no, I
That
can.
was-
We can.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Cool.
I'm misspeaking. Sorry. I forgot I
Right.
could use teleportation circle to get to that.
Forgets teleportation exactly exists, just strictly uses teleport to get to teleportation circles.
Oh my god.
Christ. Right. Because that would
I
make
can
things
do that,
a lot
yes.
easier.
I could go now if you want me to.
I would personally like it if you did that and talked to Abbott about what we can do on that front. And then obviously come back for the feast and
I'll speak to Abbott and is Rohal still in there?
I mean, Rohal should.
inform Rohal.
Yeah, I'm gonna inform Rohal about what happened in here and what's happening.
Yeah. George. Oh, sorry, General. Mr.
either
Nazim.
works.
I don't know. Do you have something that is from Tower Keen to allow our friend to
I
return
already
here
have
easily?
something. I already procured it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Has a random fork.
I mean, yeah,
He
I just
just
said I
picked
could
up
pick up random objects that are from this town.
Oh my goodness, you're the person who goes into hotels and steals all of the, the...
I bought like a random fucking wooden souvenir thingy. I told you this.
It wasn't even a souvenir, you bought like a set of cutlery or something. Because you
Yeah,
wanted to...
something like a wooden spoon or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because you wanted a souvenir and it was like, there's nothing fashionable, it's a military town. You're like, oh, well, there's something. And I was like, oh yeah, just have like a spoon.
Yeah, that
For
works.
like 2 silver pieces or
I
something.
mean, I picked up a rock from Gendelon. Come on.
I mean, it's fitting.
The rock, Delon. The gondola rock.
Alright, so
I can head off and do that then. Could you hand me his remains? Oh, I can also take the pot.
can
Okay.
have it disposed of.
Yes. Let's burn that the fuck up, frankly. If that's possible at all. Whatever. Talk to Abbott about it. Talk to Abbott about it.
Yeah.
How long's it going to take for you to do that?
Right now.
How long would it take for you to go there, get that done, and come back?
Like, I don't know, a couple of hours.
Okay. Before we head off, can we talk like the party? Like, there's something that's been driving me mad that I really want to air a bit here.
All right. That's I'm more
fair,
than
yeah.
fine with that. Yes. In front of George or
No,
what's
no,
the-
just in the barracks. What it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Okay.
General
Right.
George, thank you very much for your time. We'll.
Yes, if we
Is
were
that
taking the
everything?
letter.
Yes, I'll have the letter prepared after the feast tomorrow. I'll hand it to you, and you can otherwise take that with you to Oregon. Just hand it to them there. Find a inn or tavern to stay in, and I'll make sure that the costs are covered as part of staying there after you're done. Obviously, no eating or drinking anything too expensive, unless you were paying for it yourself.
All right, thank you. In that case, is there anything else we need to discuss, or are we good for now?
I think we're good for now.
Is this aimed at George or the party?
Both, I think. Just if there's anyone who.
Nothing on my side. Now that I know you're going with, you may end up giving your own live testimony of the matter to the council if they require it. They'll probably only require your friend Rook here, but it's worth trying to travel and get in as I'd also be wary, as powerful individuals, killing a purple worm is a big matter, even in killing 3 as a group is a much bigger matter. It's possible that they may end up, in a time of war, trying to recruit you to become High Marshals or High Templars, given your natural air of capability.
Are we able to refuse this?
You are, with the note that you have to have a damn good reason for it.
We're damn sexy.
I mean,
That's
I
not
gotta
really a reason. It needs to be something more than that. I mean,
End of the world,
yeah,
lives hang in the balance-y type
With-
situation.
True. They'll probably look at this as they'll hear out your request, but after it's done, they'll want you hired as individuals of the military, given your prowess. That's why adventurers typically go further afield.
Yeah, as much as we can respect that, it's unlikely that we'll be allowed to, given we do have sort of a religious, quest. So, as long as it doesn't interfere, I don't really have an issue, but...
Your friend mentioned that you were the Dawn Marshals. They'll probably question you on that as well. That's the other thing. Did you want me to include that in the transcript? Because it was mentioned, and I got the general air afterwards that you didn't want it to be mentioned. You were busy taking care of other matters.
Honestly, it's a lot of fuss, but it's not like people don't already know. It's just apparently hasn't traveled that much. So, Queglod, I bow to your wisdom in this matter.
The name of the Dawn Seekers has travelled a fair distance. It's made it from here, from Adamantia, along with various other reports as well, but that's irrelevant.
I promise you, about half as many of them as you would have received are nowhere near as bad as they sound, and the other half are probably worse.
Most of them were with regards to the war, which have coming from the Alliance, and we're one of the first few who hear it aside Oregon. So, as information travels quick to our garrison in case we were to come under attack. We've heard of the attacks on Adamantia, the nature of how they were thwarted, and how an adventuring group took care of it. I also understand that some of our troops have otherwise been pulled away for other matters, reinforcing Adamantia and so on, and they've been moving some of the Crimson Conclave there from this direction. They came about a month ago.
I'm just going to take a moment. Who the fuck are the Crimson Conclave?
Crimson Conclave is the main Empire military force. They're the Home Guard, the offense. They are, by all intents and purposes, if you were to look at any military, the Crimson Conclave are the main source of that. These guys are all Crimson Conclave. They're wearing the armor of the Empire Guards.
So they're the standing army then?
Yes, they're the standing army of the Empire. The Crimson Conclave is just the name given, but it's typically only called that inside of Oregon's small region. So the area around Oregon itself, because everywhere else typically just calls them the Guards.
Chris, how suspicious would it be if we asked to remove a certain other part of the transcript?
Depends.
The major rupture part.
It's up to you. Want to ask?
I look at Queglod. Should we ask?
Ask what?
If you think it's going to be a problem. On the matter of the Dawn Seekers, if we're going anyway, it might be better for us to, and likely to be asked to give testimony, it might be better for us to speak about that there rather than have it included in the letter and let them come to false conclusions.
Equally, though, it might be better to lay our cards on the table.
It might give us more of a chance to not be recruited into position if we have a mission of our own that we are fulfilling.
Perhaps.
And of course, we can always, just summon Guardian Miadal. Like, that's got to have some effect.
One thing which is a general
Potentially.
note, you've summoned her in the presence of one other person, they didn't see her.
Wait, shit, we did?
You summoned her
Only
in
the
thing,
Dawn Marshals, I think.
you summoned her in Abod's presence, he couldn't see her.
Huh.
Something that you do generally
Shit.
know, she can't fight, but she's also not a physical form that people can see.
Right. That sucks.
Okay.
Okay.
As to your personal matter, Bern.
Sorry? I didn't catch that.
Yes. As to your personal matter, it might be a good idea to speak about that as well.
All right. I would say it is probably best we put forward that we are the new generation of the Dawn Marshals.
You meant
Beyond
speak
that-
here. Queglod?
You
Or
wanted
sound-
to. You were asking to ask about something.
Yeah, you meant talk about it here, not in Oregon, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to ask. You said you could keep the fact that we're the Dawn Marshals from the transcript, correct?
I can only send, if you want me to, I can send just the request as well as what was written with regards to Rook's story about the Prince of Blood and anything that came about as part of that section. Anything else I can hold back. If they ask me for the full transcript, I will send it to you. But until further notice, I can send just that as the request. The transcript I wouldn't need to send if it weren't for the fact that, you're the Dawn Marshals. If you wanted to turn round and say that you didn't want it to, then I don't have to send that part at all. It's just because your friend here requested aid in the fact that we might need to defend ourselves against this Prince of Blood. The only reason I'm sending you is because if they ask for personal testimony from the person who gave you this, then you need to be summoned.
No, there is a part in there which might be seen as little illegal.
He
Oh,
pauses for a moment and kind of sifts through them, and you watch as the commander just kind of gives it a look over and points to one particular bit. I think they're referring to the use of magic outside of normal brain expertise. Ah, that. I mean, I can cut that out if I only send the reinforcements bit without the worry about the Dawn Marshals. The only problem is that if they ask for the full transcript, then I can't remove it.
Yeah.
Again, this matters
Is
why
it-
if you want to go there announcing yourselves as Dawn Marshals now, it is probably better off than them reading the transcript and finding out, one, that we have the Dawn Marshals here, and two, that and that you were casting illegal magic.
Okay. I take issue with the terminology illegal. There are-
By Empire standard.
Okay, I mean, yes, but also no.
Can't hear
Technically,
you.
it's not like it's slightly. Yeah, all right. It's kind of some hinky magic. I'll be honest. Yeah.
But it depends. If you want to go there as Dawn Marshals, that would be good. The only reason I'd want to send that is because, well, if they then ask
Your
me why
mono-
I kept it secret, I might get in trouble.
Hmm.
If I get in trouble, you might lose your foothold here in Tower Keep, which would be bad for you as well as for me. I don't want to go down for treason. I have a family to
Entirely
And a doggo.
understandable. Look.
handle.
And a
Right,
dog.
okay. Chris, how illegal is hematurgy?
To an extent. Okay, let's put it in context. You worshipping a Turan is illegal because people don't understand it, meaning that if there's a religious organization that sees a mysterious symbol on a cleric wandering through town, they might be inclined to shout heresy, and thus try and take you down. But if you walk through a town of people who have no idea what the religious symbol means, then they're not going to care less. In the same manner, the same thing applies here. If they know how to use hematurgy, they might understand its practicality, and thus it wouldn't be as much of an issue. Or if they have no idea what it is, then they won't care. But if they do understand that it's potentially dangerous, it's not going to be well accepted. Given that the Empire has otherwise illegalized it, and just generally forbidden magic coming under blood magic and the use of spirit magic, which is veil shaping and hematurgy, the two of them aren't particularly welcome within the Empire for varying reasons. Queglod might have the exception for this, but both of the two factions you've met, the ones in Blackhold and the Sanguine Sun, both of whom specialize in these two different types of magic, aren't out in the open. And you can probably understand why there's a reason for that.
Hmm.
So the nature of it, if it's recognized, then yes. But that's the thing, it has to be recognized. If somebody within their court turns around and goes, that's hematurgy, then it's bad. On the other hand, if nobody in their court recognizes the fact that Major Rupture is a hematurgy spell, they might just think it's another form of spell, then it's not going to change anything.
From, like, just a basic common sense check, what are the chances of that, though?
Commoner? No idea. The fact that you're going into Oregon, the capital of magic and economy and military within the Empire,
Yeah, it's a fair...
it's a lot
fair
higher
bet,
there than it is in, say, Tower Keep.
Hmm.
Probably better if we go there and we tell them.
Right.
You've gone quiet again, Infernal. I heard you're probably better if what?
I think it's better if we just go there and tell them ourselves that we're the Dawn Marshals. I don't know.
Very well.
Is that what the captain suggested?
That's what the general
Okay.
suggested.
Here's my argument that
It's
we can
only-
make to them. We are facing the Prince of Blood. He is literally the creator of hematurgy. By learning it, we learn something of him. Wait, is he the creator or is he just the master of it?
A bit of both.
Okay.
From your general
Fun.
knowledge, he
He's developed
knows. You've seen him use some very high power hematurgy spells. Prince of Blood gives it away a little bit, but whether that means he created it or whether he was the one who just mastered it, you're not sure.
Basically, we're facing an enemy who has learned hematurgy and to a degree of mastery, and may even have had a hand in creating or advancing the form. So, learning about it is simply common sense, regardless of its illegality. And under a situation where a powerful abomination was potentially going to be added to his ranks, there is a moral obligation there to not let such a thing occur and to use whatever is at our disposal to deal with it.
Are you saying this out loud or are you just discussing?
I mean, like, I will put that at, I will say that in, like, more Sasha-y terms, but essentially,
Okay. He turns around and goes, I don't have any issue with that. Like, illegal magic or not, you still saved the town. You still helped
oh,
the
no,
city.
I know. I'm just sort of, like, preparing, you know, I just want to be very clear.
It's usually reward the garrison or the group or platoon who would have taken care of such a feat, especially if they took care of purple worms. They'd have been exalted to my position or higher. The main thing is that I'm willing to brush all of this under the rug as you did this for us. I can simply say that it's on its way, or I sent it with a messenger. I can keep sending reports until it otherwise gets through.
George,
Hmm?
George, I cannot allow you to do that because it would risk your position and it would risk your well-being.
Hey, they know that the Pilgrim's Road is a dangerous road. If a messenger gets killed, it's not my problem. Well, it is.
If we're
I'll send another messenger.
If we're traveling with the transcript, I don't think it's as much of a danger.
Exactly.
Since anything they find objectionable will be on hand to smooth
Answer.
over.
Yes.
I think our best bet is to lay our cards on the table. As unfortunate as some of this may put a light on us, we must be honest, and we must do our best. If worst comes to worst, we will deal with it. And I think we can all agree we're not going to let anything bad happen to any one of us. So, whatever happens, we will be.
That's fine. I'm just saying that if you want.
Oh, I know that was more to them. Like I'm good with you, George. You seem like a stand-up guy. So this sort of, sorry, I'm just sort of like trying to get everyone on the same page here. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I understand. I will say that if you are heading to Oregon, you can take your time. If you're traveling on foot and I send them a message saying that there are messengers with a very detailed and very needed, a very detailed and otherwise very important transcript, then in such a case that would probably give you 2 to 3 weeks if you wanted to take your time. If you want to get there urgently, then by all means, I'm not going to stop you. Just let me know after the feast tonight, and until then, do what you need to do. Tomorrow night, sorry.
All right.
Very well.
Right. In that case, I think. Is there anything we can help out with around the keep?
I gave your friend Rook here the request for if you want to take care of anything over the next few days before you leave. And the rewards on that vary rather drastically, but you'd collect your rewards in Oregon, so that would work either way. But if you were just looking to help out with the food, just helping prepare it as your friend has recommended, otherwise just lounge about and do whatever you need to do. Your friend Rook was helping scout in protect the scouting party that was going to be going down into the mines. If any other of you wanted to go, you're welcome to. Other than that, pertain to whatever you need to do. You're in mourning, you shouldn't need to worry about pushing yourself.
I'm not one that does well with idleness, but thank you. Right, I think we should take our leave now and determine what we want to do.
The door opens.
Oh.
Captain! Oh, Commander, sorry. The captain and the scouts as well as the carvers are ready to go when your friends were ready.
Okay, give me a little while. I just need to talk to the party before Bern has to head off. Of course,
we'll be waiting by the gate when you're ready.
I won't be long.
Right.
You make your way out of the chamber. Various things are going on. Head back down the stairs, or the short way down the stairs, out of the tower and into the main courtyard. You see the messenger who was otherwise travelling with, wearing what looks to be basic chainmail, otherwise marches over to the other lot, where you see a group of what looks to be one guard who otherwise carries a sword at his side, and a large backpack filled with bits of paper and other bits which otherwise stick out a little bit, as well as a massive map case. You see a number of guards who are more well-trained, equipped with large crossbows and spears, as well as shields, and they're otherwise prepared to travel with, as well as what looks to be a smaller group who are equipped with longbows and knives. You presume these to be the carvers. As you informed them there were purple worms, they're going to be carving the rest of it with material.
Perfect. Right. I will be with you in just a second.
You shout across the courtyard to the gate, which is about 300 feet away.
Oh fucking hell! Right, okay.
They give you a wave, and a few guards give you a look before a few of them realise what's going on, and you head back to the barracks to talk.
Right.
Okay. Right. Guys, the thing that's been bothering since since we come into contact with that syringe guy, the first question is, who is the Ambergrin? Do we have any information or anything on them?
Okay, what I think we have is that they're a sort of evil necromancy lot, and they've thrown in their lot with the Alliance. Ambod might have used to have been part of them about 200 years ago, but that's in the past. That's fine.
Okay. Right. Okay. I just out of curiosity, because it's driving me crazy. So Elsyan said originally that she sensed while she was in the Emerald Glade, whatever it was called, I think it's Emerald Glade, that she sensed another shard.
Find
In
out
Oregon.
Elsyan's a guy.
Yes, Elsyan's the guy.
Oh, fuck's sake! Yes,
He did the same thing in the debrief.
I did. I am having a great
So
time
Elsyan's
here.
written down as a female in the transcript, by the way.
Okay, so if we actually do succeed in convincing the Emperor to bring Elsyan back, there might be some complications.
Okay.
That's not supposed to
no.
happen. He's come back with a wang.
Look, he's he's a Minotaur. He's an elf. They don't really understand each other.
Well, it's just that he's so pompous and
The hair, the
about his
long
look.
hair.
Yeah, I just thought it was a woman. My bad. Don't ever tell him I said that. He will mind blast me into next week. Or he won't. I'm not too sure. But anyway, so Elsyan said that he sort of sensed the shard in Oregon while he was in the Emerald Glade. That means that the guy that has the shard walked at least 18 days to Adamanthia. Specifically Adamanthia. They have all of this ground, everything they've walked past, walked all the way to Adamanthia to kill one guy who was in a coma and another guy who, let's be honest, isn't all that strong. Why specifically the leadership of Adamanthia? Is there something there that we don't know about?
We were hoping to recover Regan's soul.
Right.
It
What
was removed by that syringe, so I can only hope that we would gain some information by doing that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. In terms for Adamanthia, owing to the fact that it was the first place attacked by the Alliance before the war started, that makes it quite a powerful symbol. So, and also into that is the idea that by taking care of Hurricane, however minutely, they are weakening the rest of the war effort everywhere else by forcing Oregon to send governors to deal with it.
Right. I was just trying to work out if there was a hidden...
But equally, it really does kind of beg the question, what's so important about Adamanthia?
Yeah.
We haven't had any attacks in like other cities, like Kalinko.
No, it just seems to be solely Adamanthia, and specifically the leadership. Though, didn't you say that Regan created... Oh, not Sentinels, what are they called? He created creatures of defense.
They are Sentinels.
Centurion,
They are Sentinels,
is
oh,
their
right.
title. Yes.
Right, okay. Could they be using his soul or his heart or something like that to try and make some of their own? Potentially? I don't know how it works.
They certainly might attempt to. The thing isn't that Regan was necessarily creating more, as far as I'm aware. Well, they may have been, but for the most part, the main thing is the control of them.
Right.
They are difficult.
They've been trying to use his soul to control something.
Potentially, maybe they're trying to amass an army in our borders and then use potentially his soul to control that army that's been constructed.
it's actually entirely possible that what they're doing is not necessarily what they did. The reason they killed him might have been to try and resurrect him somewhere to try and torture him into telling them how to control them. That's a rather horrifying thought I hadn't come to.
There's also the fact that the time doesn't add up. There was like 4 days of downtime of him reaching Adamanthia? Or is doing something before that?
If you were going through the time that you guys mathed out, it was he had 6 days free since he reached Adamanthia before the attack.
So he was in Adamanthia for 6 days.
Or he did something before reaching Adamanthia.
Correct.
He had basically 6 days before the attack to do anything.
Yes, because the last thing that you remember, because we went through this because Infernal and Amy would talk about this. That the last thing that was remembered was Elsyan told them that he sent the guy with the syringe here, south of Oregon, heading southward from Oregon when he was in Boston getting the Acrian Orb, which was the other shard. The only viable route that would get there within that amount of time is to go under the mountain through Drakenforge, Crag Anvil, heading up through the Enchanted Glade into Adamanthia. They also figured out that they have been in Crag Anvil at the exact same time as him.
Yeah.
So that may have been a thing. And then if that individual did head up to Adamanthia, that means that they had spare time.
So he may have been doing something that we don't know about in the area. Potentially setting something up. It's just something I needed to air, because it's something that I have been thinking about. That's been driving me mad.
No, it's worth trying to figure out.
Okay.
No, it's difficult to say for sure. If we can return Regan, perhaps we can learn more. But it's difficult to say.
Was he the one that tried to steal the orb from Abbott? Or who was that?
I don't think we ever found out, did we?
You never found out, no.
Just someone tried to.
Someone tried to and took
Someone
his
with-
arm.
As
in,
someone
like,
with a
just-
somewhat
isn't it?
distinctive appearance?
Correction, instead of taking it, destroyed his arm, I should say.
Yeah, what was it?
Not
that was
for
significant-
fucking long.
Yeah, what was it that
However,
was significant about their appearance?
Hold on. What were you saying, Simon?
What was it that was significant about their appearance? I remember there was something.
The person.
The thief, yeah. The would-be thief.
They came in cloaked. They managed to get past all of his glyphs and his defenses that he has set up to stop creatures such as demons, undead, fae, beam, so on. All of the protection that he's put on the tower, the person got straight past them and was gunning for the Acrian Orb to take it, which he had otherwise sealed in a magical container. And they were going to be able to take it if he didn't intervene, at which point his simulacrum used up quite a lot of spells and lost its arm from the use of disintegration. Whoever they were then fled the scene and left, but he never saw a proper look at them. All he knows is that they weren't human. So they weren't your typical bipedal individual, and they weren't exactly tall.
They weren't bipedal. Okay.
They were bipedal, but they were either hunched or they were small. So, not human, so potentially dwarf, halfling, gnome, or a goblin, any of the smaller races, or a hunched humanoid.
And Syringe Guy was pretty big.
He's human-sized. He's a little... He usually stands hunched, but he wasn't tall. Something to note is that... Something to know about Syringe Guy is that he has only one arm. You never asked Abbott about the arms, so it may be relevant, but he didn't mention anything about a syringe.
What about the one that teleported the syringe guy? Was he short or was he tall?
She...
Yeah, we didn't.
is the individual you've seen before, the one who who Malcolm had previously downed, the one who owned the previous shard and was there at the attack on
Oh.
Amanthea when Chronicle died. She's not the tallest.
So that was Kisrin.
Yes.
So she wasn't the one that stole you or tried to steal you. Like, the proportions don't matter.
You don't know.
Doesn't seem to have been, from what we know.
Was she taller than him when they were standing next to each other?
Yeah, she's taller than him.
Okay, so it probably wasn't her.
I don't know if it'd be worth asking, but Bern, when you go back to Adamanthea, would it be possible to see if you get anything else out of Bod? Like, even ask about the arm?
I'll see what I can do then.
Malcolm.
I guess I'll grab the pot and I'll head over now then.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. I didn't mean to be supportive. I just wanted to air this.
But
It's been
before you go, Bern, I have a letter that I need to write real quick for Rohal.
Alright. Well, I will be speaking to her anyway, so.
As for the rest of us, I would suggest we either look at those bounties and see if there's anything that we can take care of today, or before the feast tomorrow, and
I will say we do need
down to deal with the scouts. What?
we do need some money.
Did you
We
want me
do.
to go through the bounties, or did you want to do it?
Yeah,
Rook?
let's just say that I got bits of paper. I'm gonna put them on the table. If you could just read out what they are,
Okay.
because bugger me.
Okay, I have the information here. I'm going to copy and paste it. Then I'm going to read through it. Hopefully it's not too many words. Hold on. Let me... Just going to
Do you mind
separate...
if I go and grab something real quick? I'll be back in
Yeah.
like 30
We'll
seconds.
take a quick break after this, so it's fine.
Cool.
So, these are the 4 different contracts. Gnolls south of Towerkeep. A large group of gnolls have been sighted in the southern regions of the Empire, specifically south of Towerkeep, the hills. The group so far is believed to have killed several travellers and captured or killed a group of Crimson Conclave. The reward is counted on gnolls based on gnoll snouts. There is no person of contact once you to start this event, so you can otherwise go there whenever you want. Cultists working with giants to the north of Mudlandok. There is an alleged group of cultists to the north of Mudlandok within the mountains, within the mountain peaks, with the sightings of the stone giant fortresses that run along the ridges bordering the old Pilgrim's Road. The cultists have currently only rumours and hearsay, that should be about them, no solid evidence or eyewitnessing. However, there should be strange creatures have been appearing around the fortresses. The reward is again is based on further information or accommodating trophies marking the kill count. Person of contact is a individual known as Induis, owner of the Azure Wain, which is found in Mudlandok. There has been screeching and abduction of cattle and sheep around Mudlandok. There have been disappearances of cattle and sheep from several of the farms around Mudlandok. The cattle and sheep disappear in the night, and on some occasions, a screech has been heard from the fields just before the livestock goes missing. Only 1 to 3 livestock have gone missing at a time. The reward is find, source, and kill. Evidence required. Speak to Farmer Gregory Schmidt or Smith. And Smith. And the final one is
Smith.
And the final one is goblinoids and trolls attacking the roads around Towerkeen and Mudlandok, respectively. So goblins for Towerkeen, trolls for Mudlandok. There are a number of roaming goblins and trolls going along the old Pilgrim's Road. You need ears of respective creatures and to count your kill count.
Sasha, it's just occurred to me. We might want to do the Mudlandok ones. If you remember, one of the amber shards is near a giant's fortress, and inside the cavern where said amber was a giant bat. Like creature.
Chris, can I get a fact check on this?
From exiting the cave and looking out as well, above and behind you on the mountaintops was a bunch of giant fortresses. Down and below was an old road which looked well travelled but poorly maintained, and a swamp there beyond. Match up with the Kazari swamp.
So I put 2 and 2 together. Well, I literally just finally put the 2 together with the screeching. But yeah, I thought it was going to be around there. So potentially one of the ambush yards is going to be near the Mudland Dock.
Okay.
So this might be something to actually, take note of. And we know what the screeching creature is if it does turn out to be that bat.
Like, it's only going to take like a day to get over there and deal with it.
Windwalk,
Frankly.
it would be a day's travel. Because something that I actually forgot to mention in planning, I've accidentally been making the world bigger than it is. I redid my measurements. You guys have been traveling at a lot slower pace than you should have. So, yeah, Windwalk, if you want to, will probably take you about half a day to get to Mudland Dock. You should have gotten from Numperbud to Tower Keen in a day rather than 2 days. So basically, your travel speed has doubled because I've been miscalculating.
Okay.
I've got the measurements up on my left monitor if I need to figure out how long it will take.
So, if we go over there, I don't think it would be too difficult for us to deal with this if we know that we're looking for a cave. Because that gives us something...
Rook is going to be heading in a scout expedition today, because he's promised to do so.
Yeah.
Malcolm's helping with the food. The meal is tomorrow at noon. So there isn't much time to travel out today. And Bern's got to come back as well.
What if we take the opportunity to deal with... We'll deal with this after the feast, then?
And then go to Oregon.
And then go to Oregon, yeah.
That
Because at
makes
least
sense.
then we'll... Because, like, even that will still mean that we're moving quicker than the Raven would.
No, that makes perfect sense. But no, it was something that just tweaked, and I thought, hang on. So,
Awesome.
yeah, that we could probably kill multiple birds with one stone, metaphorically. Hopefully a bat, but,
Multiple bats with one bat. Or spell.
One axe. Spell. Yeah.
All the
Right,
bats will disintegrate. Yep.
Major rupture.
Yeah, make sure you tell them why they used it again.
I will do. It's
Should
like,
give
that
an
was a
accurate
giant bat.
tally.
I will be back shortly, guys. But this seems like a good...
I was going to say, we'll take a quick 5-minute break there. Now that you've decided what you're going to do.
Would it be better taking care of it after Oregon?
Either way, that's up to you. Either way, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break there. Continue discussing if you want. Go ahead and grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and so on. We'll continue when I get back, and we'll decide exactly what occurs when you go through your various activities. So, back in a minute.
My debriefs
Waiting for
weren't
burgers
that
to
bad.
happen. Well, we don't know how long it's going to take us to actually find the cave or the cultists.
That much is true.
Because we need to go and ask around and stuff.
Yeah, I vote after Oregon. Just
Yeah.
We
Oregon,
don't
I
know
don't
much
know.
about the amber, so it might not be there anymore, or it might still be there when we get back. So,
I mean, we don't have to do the cultist one. It's literally just find the creature. That's one of the quests. There's a Mudland Dog, strange creatures. So, but yeah,
We need to speak to Farmer Gregory Smith. Schmidt.
Alright. Okay, I mean, if you want to go to Oregon first, that's cool. But at least we have now got a general knowledge on potentially where one of the abbas are, and the other one is with a dragon.
One is at the north with the dragon, and one is
down here. Yeah. So
how many ambers?
2. So we now know the location of both of them.
Yeah.
maybe.
Roughly.
And well, maybe. Actually, it might be very plausible. Actually, I don't know. So there was giant fortresses, right?
It was giant fortresses in the vision that I saw, and on the top of this mountain are giant fortresses. Below it is a working or a very well-used road, and as Chris just said, this one's got quite a well-used road. and there was a giant bat in the cave, and there's a screeching creature that's running away with cattle around the
You said
Mudland Dock.
there was a swamp as well?
And it was opposite, it's by a swamp. I could see a swamp, and it's by the swamp. So it honestly does tally up quite.
How far away from the swamp was the entrance? Like, or the cave?
Not too far. I mean, the fact that I could see the swamp, the cave was about halfway up the mountain, but the fact that I could see the swamp means that it's got to be on one of these faces.
Yeah, it's like one of these three, yeah.
And it was below a fortress.
Yeah. What I got confused because the storm giant fortresses are here,
Correct.
I think these were just.
and then I guess there would be other
I
fortresses
think that was a
here.
stone giant, if I recall rightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, stone giants. Yeah.
Okay. So there could be stone giant fortresses here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most of the
So-
mountains have various giant fortresses in them. Just some of them are surface, some of them are large, some of them are small. Like the one you went to Skycalm Keep is a fairly small one. It's just based off of an old stone giant fortress, which used to be larger. Your knowledge of giants, I don't believe, is that extensive.
No, probably not.
How
No.
would my knowledge of giants been, knowing that I speak giant?
You'd probably have a bit
Different
more of an
giants.
understanding of it. Most giants live on the surface. Like, it varies a lot.
I mean,
Storm giants
Queglod will
typically...
probably be the most knowledgeable, right?
Like, it depends quite a lot in terms of giant. As you said, Queglod probably knows the most. Storm giants typically live in the sea. So the fact that they live right next to Oregon, which is in the center of a landmass, is very strange. Cloud giants, well, they live in the clouds, so... Then you've got stone giants, they live in the mountains. Fire giants live underground, and then hill giants typically run around and do what they want. Anywhere they want, and then they typically get killed for being stupid. Or they eat all your sheep. So, whichever one comes first. Or pumpkins, actually. They have a strange effect when they eat a lot of pumpkins. They literally like they gain 2 CR and they become stronger by eating a lot of pumpkin. It's strange. No, it's a thing.
I don't doubt you, but why?
I don't know. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Is this some like Halloween thing or?
Well, in all
I don't
fairness,
know.
I'm pretty
I was
sure my
looking
cat gains
through-
2 CR.
I was
when I give
looking
it catnip.
through. I was looking through the various giants because I was looking at things like frost giants, stone giant, stuff like that, cloud giant, and I was reading the wrong bit, and I was like, oh yeah, this must be about the frost giant because it's on the frost giant page, but it's actually about the hill giants. Hill giants, if they are starved, they will go and seek out various other things. If they let's see. From other hill giants, they are kept imprisoned or shackled to starve them. If it breaks free, it's sure to kill a few hill giants before it is brought down, or it sprints away on a killing spree. The only time that they're set loose is during war between giants and other settlements or other tribes. When it has slaughtered whoever, it eats the enemies and passes on to the next victims in the vicinity, or until it is recaptured. To start this process, they can be found eating sheep, cattle, or general sheep, cattle, livestock, or pumpkins. And in the art for the creature, it shows pumpkins. Lots of them.
Huh.
These things fucking love pumpkins.
Yeah, they do. And by like, you'd think like, oh, it's a hill giant. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. It hits you for quite a bit. Yeah, it gets the ability to attack you 3 times, and it's immune to charm and frighten spells entirely. It's one of the dumbest things ever. But anyway, yeah, that's the thing. But you'd have more experience with stone giants, given that you're from the islands.
Yeah.
The 2 giants that are most prominent there are the stone giant and the cloud giant. Cloud giants, they typically live in the 3-pronged fortress of Talos, on the top of the central mountain in the highlands. You don't go up there most of the time, and for good reason.
No, that's a no-no place for
Yeah,
a majority of people.
yeah. And
Unless you worship Talos, then it's okay.
yeah. And then the area around and leading down the mountain is mostly stone giant territory. This is also where Goliaths roam alongside the other giants that might otherwise go on pilgrimages or be nomadic in some way or another, and they'll travel to and from. There are also other types of giants as well. There's the umbral giants that live in the Underdark, and there is the desert giants that live in deserts. But those are two which are very rarely seen by the community. Desert giants exist more in the Barrenlands than they do anywhere else, as far as you're aware, so you probably have a little bit more experience with that, Malcom, but again, they're rarer than most other giants. Because deserts aren't typically seen all that often. Yeah, but that's your general experience. It's not out of the question to see stone giants in mountains, so it would make sense. But yeah. So, have we got everybody back, by the way? Yes.
I'm back.
I never left.
'Tis indeed fear.
Okay, so as you finish off your discussions, Rook, you head with the scout party into the mines once more. Is anybody else heading with him?
I will head with him. I need to make sure that they don't mess with my amazing statue of Elsyan.
Okay.
Oh, I wouldn't let them touch it.
Heading into the mines. Was it?
I'm sending Featherwing just in case anything goes wrong. You can let me know.
Featherwing will travel with him.
Oh, if you're sending Featherwing, could you ask them to have another look at that light source in the light chamber?
Yes.
Only because we speculated that it might have had something to do with Lapis Crescendo, but we never had an opportunity to look into that in more detail.
Yes.
Has anyone? Okay, so he's dead. Does that mean someone else can wear the fucking thing?
Someone can wear it. Want to?
I mean, he might want it back.
But these guys. I'll be honest, it didn't really help him this time, did it?
It did. He used it already, though. He used the Indomitable versus the fight versus the Purple Worms, and it saved his ass from being swallowed.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been quite an.
But maybe if he was swallowed, he wouldn't be dead.
I mean, at least there's some like melodrama to the like Thanos snap death. If you just get eaten by a big worm, it's just like.
Well, yeah, okay, at least eaten by a big worm. That's kind of a pretty funny way to go. This one is just like you get zippity zapped.
Of all the ways you would want your death to be described, I don't personally. Funny is not the one I would go with.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if my options were digested or vaporized,
we could have saved him. We could have brought him back by now if he was eaten by a purple worm.
Not if the worm fucked off.
Well, luckily we killed the worms.
Because of him, he helped a lot.
yeah, he did.
Says the one that hid in
Another dimension.
Hey! You know my bag of tricks by now.
Why do you sound like you have a bucket on your head?
I think he has. Has he become a knight?
You know my bag of tricks, and my bag of tricks consists of when I get eaten by something, I'm out. I am not into vor.
It is a weird thing to have a contingency plan for.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's even weirder that it's come up twice now.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing is there are plenty of more situations that it could have come up.
Yeah, like honestly, I remember when we went with the giant fuck-off lava spiders, I was fully prepared to just yeet myself or anyone else who was inside those bindings out, and just be like, alright, we'll save them when they come back.
Okay, so So we have Featherwing, Sasha, and Rook going into this with the scouting party.
Yes, and I will be having Featherwing go and check out the light source.
Okay. As you head in,
How strong is that? By the way, the guys with Rook? How strong do they look, the guys with Rook?
the guards look like they're slightly more, they're higher end guards in some regard. They're not like captains or anything, but they look more veterans, so they're skilled. They'd be your typical level 3 fighter. The carvers, they're there for carving. They aren't really fighters. They got weapons so they can hunt from a distance if they need to. And the scout looks like he can get out of dodge, but otherwise isn't there for a brawl. Hence why they're being escorted by 2 high-level characters.
Okay.
As you head in, you travel round the outside and through the gate. You travel down the hallway. As you reach the winch platforms leading down, you note that there is a small group otherwise being guarded who are proceeding to repair it. As you see that they have otherwise dropped a ladder down one of them to otherwise allow it to be used, as they're fixing the leftmost one and leaving the rightmost one with all the crystals alone for now. You climb down the ladder, heading inwards and onwards. Travel back into the main area where you fought the spiders, the large crystals, memories, kind of looking around the area. As they follow the minecart tracks round and through, find off to one side where the minecart tracks split to the left and right. The scout turns around and goes, "So, which way did you go? Left or right?"
Why did
They
we
all
go?
lead down. They all lead down to the same thing.
No, this is.
No, this
Oh,
is the
wait, are we-
minecart tracks. You didn't follow the minecart tracks. You
Oh.
went in one direction.
We didn't follow the minecart tracks. We went in. I
Point.
just go in whatever direction we went in. I honestly can't. Harlan cannot remember because
Make
there
me a
were
survival check, you
slightly.
And can Featherwing help? Because Featherwing.
I'll say for the purposes of this, you can give advantage to one of the other 2 for their survival check.
21.
Please. I mean, 21's pretty good.
22.
Yeah, mine's
22.
a 12 altogether, so feel free to give me advantage if you like.
Sure. I mean,
Yay! Okay, it's a 19.
With the 22 and the 19, you both kind of point off to the rightish direction. He goes, "Right it is then." As you proceed to travel round, you see what looks to be a large section of dark crystal, as they're currently holding a torch up. Rook, you're holding your axe up. A large section of dark crystal, where a number of spiders have otherwise since collapsed. You can see that where there's kind of the goo on the floor, and there's the thin layer of dust where they've otherwise crumpled and died. You bypassed one of the larger hives that were more ground-based. As they follow around, they kind of get a look, they take bits and they put the kind of bits of now dried goo in test tubes, otherwise go, "Well, that's certainly an interesting sight." Travel through and onwards towards where the large, where the purple worms fought you, and the stench now hits of the dead creatures, and they go, "Oh, these have been festering for a little bit. We'll carve what we can, just watch our backs."
Aye.
Will do.
Will do.
Over the next 2 hours, they carefully carve away probably about 250 pounds worth of purple worm hide, as well as collecting various bits of the organs and chemicals from the inside. You can see at various points one of them carves open the stomach and proceeds to pull it open and apart and begins to kind of dig through this sludge as they do so before they pull out what looks to be large chunks of condensed crystal as they begin to pass them off and put them into a sack.
Sorry, what's the condensed crystal? What?
I know, I was just thinking that's a very Sasha thing to have missed. How dare we?
Yeah. They proceed to carve through, doing the same with the others. And
I'm actively asking that question.
oh, you're asking what's the condensed crystal? Ah, well, you see, purple worms are attracted to metals and other minerals. Seeing this area is fairly dense in crystal, I imagine they eat quite a lot of it for nourishment, and as a result, anything which can't be digested becomes this. It's effectively their poop.
Cool. Is that useful at all, or is it literally just... I mean, if it can't be digested by a purple worm, I can only imagine it's pretty decent.
Potentially. Most of the time, people will just polish it up and cut it into various gems and put them in rings. People don't know they're walking around with purple worm poop on their finger.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Hmm.
I have a friend who I absolutely now have to get a chunk of this to.
Well,
Unfortunately, he's dead. No, I'm kidding.
If you want to buy it, you can. I mean, we've got to find a seller for all this stuff we're carving, so you took what you wanted, we're claiming what we want.
Seems ironic, doesn't it?
Yeah, they take
Isn't
all of the
that
teeth,
ironic?
they carve them, put them in a bag, they take sections of the tongue and cut it open looking for something, but they don't find anything. They otherwise go through and just get everything that they possibly can. They get probably about 10 spikes. You got the rest of them. The rest of it they kind of haul up different bits, digging down sections to the side of the creature and carving into it to get some of the more loose bits, as well as managing to successfully get one stinger without having to dig through mountains of earth. As they take the stinger and otherwise put that in a bag. Right. He looks up above him to the holes that are above. Alright, this is going to be fun. You two got climbing kits, or are we going to have to do this on our own?
We can climb?
Do you have climbing kits, though?
Hang on. Let me have a look. No.
Unfortunately, Malcolm has them all.
Alright,
What? I missed that.
do you have climbing kits, or
we don't
methods to climb a vertical surface?
I have a rope.
Rope's one thing,
Yeah.
but you'll need the pitons, the hammer, you'll need the winch, and everything else.
How far is it?
He's looking straight up at the hole the purple worms came through the crystal. You look up, probably goes up for about the 120 feet of your dark vision before it dissipates into further darkness you can't see in.
Yeah, I've not really got anything for that.
No, me either.
Best I could really do is maybe light it up for you. That's about it.
No, it's just that this'll probably take us to the Warren where we want to get. See if there's anything there.
Alright,
Won't
fine.
the lower holes take us there? Like...
There are other holes?
Oh, I thought this
I
place was
point to all
completely
the
covered in
many
holes.
other holes.
You're currently in the tunnel where the purple worms died. The holes were back the other way.
Yeah, but they must have come through at different points,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there were different points all the way across it, but you otherwise just travelled straight through the area where you led them.
Oh, okay. So if we go back
Oh.
back a little bit, there's that giant cavern that's got all the holes in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There is a place where there are a lot more holes. Back this way.
Could try that then. Right. As he kind of looks across the
Okay,
surface.
okay.
Have you got any
I
means to get up there?
do. Sort of. There's a spell known as Fabricate. I could feasibly cast it a few times and set up, essentially make a climbing wall out of the, on the rock.
I've got to see Sasha try and climb a climbing wall.
If you want to do that, then go ahead. I mean, we'll do our best to otherwise climb up that sheer surface. We can probably drop a rope down, but it's about 60 feet up. If you fall from that, you're not gonna die, but it'll hurt.
What do I have? I have that. I'm trying to see if I have anything else that's like mildly useful.
At this point, one of them just goes, "All right, I'm gonna start making my way up." He grabs a set of pick and guide ropes as he slowly makes his way up. You're gonna take him the best part of getting about 60 feet up. The fact that he's traveling around a inward an upside down facing curve. Not going to be easy. It's going to take him a long while because he's got to set up all the pit and he's got to make sure that everything's all safe before he moves on. So it takes him about 20 minutes, half an hour, as he makes his way up to the surface, knocks Pitten into the wall, ties a rope and tosses it down. The others proceed to climb it. Do you wish to do so as well?
Yeah.
Okay. One of them
Once I
falls
get to
at
the
one
top,
point.
I'll try a fabricate, I guess. I just didn't want to waste a thing if we don't know how far up it goes, but you know, they're going to be here anyhow. I might as well help them out where I can.
So you're going to use fabricate? Or were you just going to climb the rope that he put in place?
Well, climb the rope and then see what's up there, and then maybe use fabricate.
Okay. Climb the
Like,
rope.
if he's already set this up, no reason to not.
Okay. You climb the rope, heading up. You look in and you see the hole before you just leads off into darkness. Down the just wherever this otherwise. You see one of them fall at one point, and he otherwise lands, and the guard kind of looks at him. He seems to have badly dislocated his ankle.
I go over and fix that if possible.
You want to climb back down the rope?
Do I have any long range healing? I don't really have any long range healing.
How much damage did it do? Would a basic potion help?
It's not necessarily the damage, it's the fact that he just badly dislocated his ankle when he landed.
Would a potion fix that?
Not so much a potion. Cure wounds might because it's a hands-on healer. But...
Okay, fine.
Right, no, I'll. How long did it take me to climb up there?
Probably about a minute.
I'll climb down and set the leg and see how he feels.
Draw me an athletics check, please.
Why must you do this to me?
It'd be fun if you land on his leg.
There we go.
You climb down the rope nice and safely. You use cure wounds, otherwise twisting his ankle back into proper shape and place as it clicks. Pops. He otherwise lets out a shout, but otherwise it's okay. How's he do on his next climb up? Yeah, it's fine. It's not unnatural.
Alright, I climb back up. I climb back up and like, okay, now everyone, remember, harnesses are important.
Yeah, it doesn't help if you're falling and the rope doesn't exactly hold your weight. Okay, climb up into the hole, proceed on into darkness. Over the course of the scouting, the scouts otherwise noting down a few things, kind of noting down measurements and time and distance.
I'm going to say Lumos?
Yeah. With Lumos, with the torch, and with Rook's axe, you're otherwise lighting the way. You travel on, you find a few intersections of otherwise carved of what looks to be stone, which has otherwise been eaten out by other worms kind of going across their own path. Before you reach what looks to be a massive open space. As you reach it, you see what looks to be where the path kind of intersects. It reaches what looks to be a hole in the floor. Looking down, you can see the large shards of crystal of the crystalline sanctum below you, as well as that faint bluish glow, but it doesn't seem to be interrupting anything here. And you look up and around and you see a very large, what looks to be a weaving network of tunnels that are mostly carved out. You also see what looks to be large clumps of crystal that are very dense, and with the light that's coming off of you are an entire array of prismatic colour. The salvagers at this point go, "Alright, this is good. This is going to be a good jackpot for when we get back." Rubs his hands together and they begin to scale the wall going round, the rest of you following, as they begin to collect up a large quantity of crystal. Warren itself otherwise looks deserted. There are no creatures about to interfere with you.
Am I good to just nab one of these? I mean, we did kill the things. Can I just...
Take some if you want, but we're going to get the rest.
That's alright. I just kind of want a souvenir more than anything.
Go ahead.
I'm going to grab a small bit.
Okay. Grab a small shard.
Souvenir.
Looks nice. Are you collecting much, Sasha?
Purple what? Are
you collecting much?
Well, I want one of like the dense the dense things, the worm poops. I'm aiming for something almost skull-sized,
Okay.
if
Nice.
that's common.
Okay. You go and find a bit. It'll be easy enough to break off a bit that would be about that size. You kind of get a chunk about skull size. You look at it. It's a good chunk.
Sasha, whenever we go
Crystal
and see my
purple worm poop.
Nice. Whenever we go and see my family, do not tell them this. I'm breaking off 2 small shards and 1 bigger shard. Not big, but about, I don't know, 3 inches, and then the other ones are going to be about 2.
Okay.
I'm going to fashion them into jewellery for my family. Do not tell my wife I have made her a purple worm poo necklace. Oh my god.
I assure you I will not.
TPK incoming.
Isn't it beautiful? It's amazing what purple worm poop can look like when you shine it up right.
I know. Why can't my poo look like this?
I know. No, that's what I'm going to tell your wife.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm not that much of an asshole.
Fair.
What did we lose? Oh.
Is Discord being laggy for you as well?
Yeah.
Very laggy for me.
Lag, well.
Hold on. That should
Hello?
be better. Hello?
Hello? Are we all good?
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Discord.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Discord having a moment. I changed the server just because I think the one we were connecting to was going down for maintenance or something.
Right.
Fair.
So. Yes, I grab a skull-sized worm poop.
Okay. They collect, with the large shards around here, they collect like foot by foot measurements of these, and they collect large shards and place them in bags. And you can see that they are looking very happy with this find.
Is there any left?
There's a lot of it left, yeah.
Oh, sod it, then I'm going to take enough that I can carry. I'll try and break a foot, or a couple of foot piece off.
Okay.
And carry it.
It's heavy, but they weigh about 30 pounds for a foot by foot.
Okay.
Or a foot cube, so.
30 pounds, hang on. How much can I carry? Yeah, I'll take
How long
2
would
foot.
it take? How long would it take to get out of the place from here? Out of the mine from here?
A half an hour.
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on myself and just start loading up. No, I'm kidding. No. I'm going to cast. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on Rook.
Oh.
Your carry weight just got doubled.
Doubled?
Oh, I'm here.
Go back. Okay.
Hell, I've now got just under 600 pounds of carrying weight. Excellent. I'm just going to take literally as much as I can carry. Because I'm not going to try and math this. It's going to hurt my brain.
Okay. You pick up as much of it as you can, several cube bits. You put them into your bags and your packs. They only seem to be carrying maybe 3 or 4 of these cubes at a bit, and they're tying them round in ropes and kind of putting them in sacks to haul back. Whereas you're kind of gathering them up in large amounts and tying them with rope to one another, and you're just going to carry them in almost large weight style back. They say, are they all for you, or are they for us?
It's a combination. But we will
Fair enough.
compensate, don't worry.
You can keep what you carry if you want. We'll be coming back here over several days. We know the way now, and it seems to be fairly safe.
Very good.
Make sure you bring guards with you next time. I don't. On the off chance there's any purple worms left, I don't want any of you getting murdered.
He kind of looks around. Seems to be fairly safe. Looks like it's been abandoned. You might have killed the last ones from this warren.
We can but hope. Anyway, you see that crystal bit down there?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah, that's where we're heading. There's a statue there. Don't touch it. It's important.
As you look down into the hole, you're about 120 feet up, with the floor of the spiral crystal sanctum below you.
Okay. Is it a straight drop or?
It's a straight drop. Yeah, but there doesn't seem to be a wall you can cling to. It's just you're in an open hole at the top, and you're almost near the apex, so the dim blue light is fairly close.
Okay, so I can make sort of like a 5-foot cube, times 8. Sort of. Can I use my fabricate to make a sort of a tunnel down into the sanctum?
Keep it okay. So here, let me draw it so you have a better understanding. Here is the sanctum roof.
Mm-hmm.
You're here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make a tunnel
Oh.
down, you'd have to go all the way back down here.
Just dangle a rope.
Okay.
Is there anything we can tie ropes to?
I mean, I will say this. You do realize fabricate literally lets me make things out of things, so we've got all this crystal. I could just make a slide.
You could. The main thing you just have to use multiple bits of fabricate. You also have to be within a specific distance, which means you'd have to be partway down the slide to cast it.
This is true. Okay, this is. I need maximum friction here. Just like slowly sliding down in the metal armor whilst casting fabricate, so that when I hit the bottom of the slide, I just make more. Oh god, this is hell.
Oh my goodness, it would just be like when Gromit's on the train, just quickly placing down the tracks on the as he's going through.
Exactly. But like in a painfully slow manner.
Oh dear.
No, let's just take them back the way we came, and then
it might be better to go back and go the way you came. I imagine you didn't jump that.
No.
Yeah, no. Like I'd survive that, but no offense, old Dislocatey the clown here wouldn't.
He scowls at you.
Hey, come on.
It is a single ford. You head back the way you came, going through the tunnel you originally took into the sanctum. They explore it, but they find not really much of interest. They find the other buildings which the creatures stayed in, the bits of crystal. They're intrigued, but it otherwise seems worthless. As Featherwing goes up to explore the light source at the top, it's well embedded within the crystal itself. You need to find a way to get up there and carve it if you wanted to try and pull it free. But even
probably
then,
best to come at it from the other. Probably best to come at it from the other angle then. Like go back into the purple worm thing and then carve it out there.
Something to note, and in answer to what the reason Queglod brought this up, the bits that are missing from Lapis Crescendo, they're probably about at most an inch long or wide. The bits that are missing. This crystal probably stands at about 1.5 to 2 foot in length and in just general size. It doesn't look like it's made up of smaller bits. It looks like it's just one big hunk of crystal. It's probably not anything of relevance.
Fair. I don't suppose there's any sort of weird sort of stone cunning or metal connection bullshit I could pull off here to try and find out whether there's any more pieces of Lapis Crescendo in this place, is there?
From a general understanding, Lapis Crescendo seems to be made up of some form of blue quartz. Depending on if it might take it, you might just be able to replace it over time by making more scales. But you don't know whether it needs something specific or it can just take something general. Either way, you find nothing of the sort within these mines.
I'm going to tell these people, if you happen to find any sort of small blue quartz lapis scales whilst you're in here, those are important to us. If you do happen to find them, which I honestly don't know if you will, but if you do, would you mind setting them aside for us?
Sure. If there's something important to you, we'll set them aside. Just we'll give them to the general. You'll probably have to check back in with him, but that's fine.
Oh no, that's entirely understandable. It's just on the off chance they happen to be in here. They might be in the sort of the spider nesty bit up top, but I don't expect you guys to have a look at that anytime soon.
We'll be exploring that once we've got a bit more of once we've finished the actual way down, we could probably bring a larger squad. Either way, we've got enough here. Let's head back. Over the next number of hours, you bring the crystal back to the port.
Oh, I am going to take them down down at least once to the main chamber where the thing was, because some of the stuff there it definitely had some strange properties, so that might have some effect. But just
investigation check for them as they look around. They head round the maze, nothing of interest. They find the pool in the middle with the warning that you previously gave them. They don't go into the water. They explore around the chamber. Right at the back of the chamber, on one of the exits which you had looked through but you never actually explored, You head through, and you can see what looks to be almost piles of crystal at the back. Not grown or anything, just piles of powdered crystal. They wander over and they have a look through, and you can see what looks to be the heads and the arms of the Crystal Guardians. Seems that a number of them may have come down here previously, and Tenacious Horror killed them. They otherwise take a look at them, and they're intrigued, but they don't seem to be worth anything.
Interesting. Is there any I don't know, any items at all that the Tenacious Horror might have had for any reason?
It looks
Even
as
if it's
though
just like...
she didn't have anything. Given that she's been sealed down here, her captors probably didn't seal her with anything, not even a teddy bear.
No.
The only thing she had was a bunch of mirrors and a pool which killed people. So.
Whilst we're there, I will try and gather up a small sample of the liquid.
Okay.
Just in case it doesn't make
As you do, you kind of reach down, try and scoop it up in one of your empty potion vials. As you do and you pull away, you watch as the liquid becomes almost gelatinous and it kind of contorts and pulls its way out of the vial, but doesn't properly disconnect with the rest of it as it kind of pulls out and then flops back into the pool, which then lays to rest.
That is disgusting.
It's almost like one large booger.
Can I... This is going to sound weird. Can I cast Identify on it?
I will say, you go to touch it, your hand goes numb as you take 8 points of acid damage. Don't mark it down, it doesn't matter. You don't take any fighting today unless you decide to fight the general.
Mm-hmm.
At which point you'll win, so, yeah.
Yep.
You cast Identify. This is a gelatinous cube.
Huh.
It seems to be tame, doesn't want to fight anyone, and just wants to rest. It seems to be the garbage disposal of anything that seems to come in here, which she either eats and then gets rid of.
That's her toilet.
Effectively.
Huh. I wonder what Tenacious Horror poo looks like. Actually, don't answer that. I don't even want to know, actually. I'll take it back.
The memory is burned. That thought is burned into your memory forever.
It is. Probably not going to be as pretty as the purple worms.
Okay. They collect their information. The scout notes things down. You head out of the area once again.
Oh, do they all admire the statue of Elsyan, by the way?
They do. So, Rook, for enhanced ability, you had quite a lot of crystal. So, how much free space did you have?
I worked it out. If you say it was 30 pounds per square foot, I got 12 square foot.
Okay. Is that including if your carrying capacity was doubled?
That's including carrying capacity doubled.
Okay.
Yeah, I will, of course, double up when needed on that.
Okay. So how much would you be able to? How much free carrying have you got, Sasha?
Oh, I just picked up the skull one. I wasn't actually that bothered about getting.
Oh,
more.
okay. In which case, with the 12 that you have, you can add these to inventory through the nature of stone cunning, identification, and natural understanding. As you bring these back to Queglod, you get a look at these, and you look at the chunks of crystal. This is about 12,000 gold's worth of enchanting materials for crystal.
Yes.
Very nice.
And another property of this crystal. It can be substituted as a component in any spell that has an MGP cost, but it will be consumed even if it otherwise would not be. So if, say, for example, a spell such as, let's say, Contingency. It's an interesting spell, it's high level, it needs a 1,500 GP worth of a sculpture of yourself for it to work.
Wait, what the fuck is Contingency?
You cast a spell, and for 10 days it will trigger on the event that would otherwise occur which you specify. So if you say cast water breathing when you fall in water, it will then cast water breathing automatically when you fall in.
Interesting.
For the next 10 days. It has an MGP, but it's not consumed, so it just lasts for 10 days, and then you can cast it again, and it will just continue going. I think it's 6th level, and wizards can learn it. Fun spell. Because, as we found out, Glyph of Warding and Symbol can't be moved more than 10 feet. They do, they don't work.
Yeah, it sucks. It's a bad time.
Yep. So contingency is your other way of doing this. So that requires 1,500 GP. Basically, after the 10 days are up, or when it would trigger, it would consume the component, even though it wouldn't. But this means that you effectively have 12,000 gold worth of diamonds for Revivify if you wanted to. So you can use it for enchanting, you can use it for any magic craft, you can use it for casting spells, you can use it for anything.
What's the spell that we're planning on using to... Or what spell would it be to use to revive the Elsyan?
True Resurrection.
What's the cost of that?
Ninth level spell, and it's like 25,000 or something dumb like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we might... I mean, if we do convince someone to cast that, we're probably going to have to subsidise that cost, so this could help towards it if they do.
Keep in mind, you're carrying around these chunks, and as you get back to the party, you have 360 pounds of this stuff. And you had to carry them over your shoulder because they don't fit in a pack. They could fit in the bag of holding, but the bag of holding's... How much space has it got, Malcolm? Sudz?
It has less than 200.
Yeah. So you'd only be able to fit feasibly about 6 in there. So you'd have to be carrying 6 around with you at all times unless you drop them off somewhere.
Well, so if we kind of disperse them between us, possibly, me and you, Sasha, and then put 6 in the bag of holding, might help. I mean, I can carry...
Can I teleport objects with me to Adamantium?
You can, but you teleported before as these guys left for their expedition.
Okay.
Yeah, you teleported back to Adamantia, gave the letter to Rohal, proceeded to Queglod, which we'll get to in a moment. Did you want to take any? Did anybody want to go with him?
To Adamantia?
Adamantia.
I can't because I'm the thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna be doing my cooking stuff.
You're doing the cooking, Queglod? Do you want to?
Or... No, I have some business I want to take care of.
Just so we're clear, he has all of the blood of Elsyan we were able to gather, and
yeah. Has all the blood of Elsyan you were able to gather? Does he have all of the blood from the purple worm that you gathered, Rook? Or
no.
Okay.
I've got that.
I mean, he could take the chunk of purple worm that I took out of it.
That's true. I mean, hell, if you're happy to take this off, like you can have all of the purple worm spikes I'm carrying.
Oh, can I say it now then? I didn't say before he left.
He technically, we're doing this in a weird order. So if you wanted to give anything to him on his way back, provided he can carry it, it's fine.
Okay, Bern, if you could take the tooth and the blood and just put that in my room, I'll deal with it when I get back.
Right. Same goes for these purple worm spikes because they heavy.
Note down where they are, because I'm not writing this down.
Okay, 26 purple worm spikes.
Yeah, write down they're in your room.
I'm doing it.
I'll write them in your storage, because you have a warehouse storage in your...
Yeah, true.
That would be good. That would be good.
Alright, so what do you have in storage? You're going to have purple worm spikes. Okay. That how many?
26.
26. Okay. Weigh 3 pounds each.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I guess I'll pass over the crystal samples and the liquid unnatural sample and the solid natural sample.
Is that intent to go to Abod?
Yeah, that's just...
Okay, so I won't put that in your inventory.
Yeah, those are just to like, hey, what the fuck is this, Abod?
Okay. Anything else?
The 13 vials of blood and the 6 jars of blood.
Okay. Are they going to Gree, or are you...
If you put them wherever, and I'll deal with them when I go back to Adamantia.
13 vials of blood, 6
I'll just put them somewhere to be preserved.
Okay, I've added those to the inventory. So as you take all those things back with you using teleportation circle.
Yep.
You draw the circle on the ground, disappear out as you travel to Adamantia. You arrive in the tower, You see Abod is otherwise sat there in his chair. You can see he's got his head leaning back. And you see what seems to be a small bit of bubble growing from his nose. He's currently asleep.
What time is it?
Probably about 11 in the morning.
Fucking slacker.
Get that out there.
Oh. No.
You don't want to anchor him?
I'll wake him up gently.
Sorry.
Morning.
Must have staff. Just you?
Yes, I've just come to make a delivery and I'll be heading back.
I see.
These are for you. I hand in the... Wait, so what's for him actually?
The crystal samples, the purple worm flesh sample, and is there something else?
Is the blood distillery him or Gree?
Agree.
I guess that's it for him. These are for you to check out and investigate.
He takes the bits and pieces. I'll get into looking into this.
Has anything happened while we were gone?
Well, depends. Are you talking interesting, or are you just talking the news from the criers in town?
Well, anything noteworthy?
We're winning the war against the Alliance.
Yeah, that's what they say here.
Various things have otherwise occurred. I don't remember the specifics. One of the groups that were fighting in the Alliance was wiped out. Another one managed to take back the various details. From what Gree has found out, your little Prince of Blood issue is weird. You haven't been in contact with your superiors, so they're getting a bit impatient with the force that's in waiting. Oh yes, that's right. I had some things arrive from out of town. From some. Let me see. Digs through a number of letters and other bits of paper as he pulls out what looks to be a relatively large parcel. It's from some Suhaba. Said he
Does
was...
Bern know Sahaba?
You met Suhaba. We remember we talked about him and went to talk to him at one point. For some reason.
Your wand of
I think-
sewage or something, isn't it? You ordered?
Yes, the wand of sewage.
He sent this, said that it's the last commission he can do in the letter. I read through it. It was sent into the tavern and it was given to me. It's a magical item.
What is that?
I don't know what you thought would want with something like this, but I mean, it's...
I was not involved in any of this. Don't bring me up.
We told you about
it's
it.
a wand which it's got like 3 charges, and you can use it to make muddy water. That's all it does. It doesn't even
That's
like.
not mud, Gree.
It is, unfortunately.
Oh, damn you, Chris.
It's the extent of what he can do.
Let me make a man choke on shit and die.
It turns a 5-foot cube of water within range to muddy water. The effects then spread if the water pool is large, or is larger. If it extends more than 50 feet in any direction, the water returns to normal within the hour. Otherwise, it remains
what
permanent.
we ordered at all.
I know, but can't make something that creates sewage, unfortunately. Not within the money that he was given.
Refresh my memory. Why?
Sasha
Honestly?
wanted a wand that created sewage.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
what
I
we're
remember
saying
something
about
about that, but can't.
Yes. The intention was, what if we just
What if we just
What
had a
if
wand
we
that could
just
create sewage?
lock
Okay,
the
sure.
Prince of Blood in an airtight room and fill it with sewage?
Yeah, that was the reasoning. It really was.
What if we just make him drown on
Just
sewage?
throw it in the trash.
I'll let them know that. I'll let them know that the postal service broke it. Something. He just takes the wand and goes. I'll let you cast a spell magic on it. I'll snap it when you do.
No, come on.
You're not there. Are you casting dispel magic?
Wait, I can't cast
We
the
spent
spell.
money on this.
I can't cast the spell magic, Chris.
Well, I'm a simulacrum, so if I do, it'll be gone forever. So I'm not going to do it. I'll let you take it to your part and decide what to do with it.
That's fine. Where's Gree? Is he downstairs?
Yes, he's down in the city.
I'll see you later.
You might want the letter as well.
What letter?
Hmm?
What letter?
The one from Suhaba.
Yes, sure. I'll take it.
Take the letter.
Wait, what?
I head down to Gree.
You head down to Gree, traveling down to the Undercity and into
I drop off the stuff in the storage house.
drop off the stuff in the storage house without lugging it around. You head down, going past everybody and generally ignoring everything before you head into where Gree is, and you can see that he's currently within his main laboratory. You can see what looks to be some form of a dog of some form, but it has what looks to be two sets of front legs, where otherwise is crouched over. You can see the hairs on the back of its kind of where its shoulders or back would be, are covered in these thin green spines. And you see that its snout is otherwise extended outwards into a rather long and very crooked mouth that covers the majority of its form. As it looks over it, it just begins to cower and whimper away from you. And Bree kind of turns and goes, "Oh, be quiet. Ah, finally you've
Hell
returned.
is that?
Yeah, it's a
Is
chimera.
this a
Leave it alone.
sex thing?
It's a chimera.
It's something that I'm working on. I'm seeing if I can somehow make 13 a body inhabit.
Well, that looks like a failure for 13.
He tried eating the previous one and he couldn't hold its form, so I'm trying to perfect it. If we can make him creatures, we can adapt to any situation. But anyway.
Yes. I came back to make some deliveries and I'll be heading off again.
Have you got
I
any
did.
report for the leaders? They're getting impatient. You've been basically quiet for over a month.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened. I've forgotten I need to actually inform them.
Yes, especially seeing as you're a vanguard.
I was not aware I was supposed to send letters.
They literally told you, as far as I was aware. And why would it stop needing to send letters when you've been doing it your entire life?
I was told that I don't need to report anymore, so...
You don't need to report to me. You still report to them.
My bad then. Guess, I'll need to start writing a bunch. Can you send them for me?
Of course, that's why I'm here.
Alright. Bern goes into a fucking 2-hour writing session of everything that's happened with the Prince of Blood.
Okay. Your hand hurts, but you finish writing the letters regarding what needs to be done, you give them to Gree, he sends them off.
Yep. Could have fucking made a spell in that time, Jesus Christ.
But instead you are writing letters for the past month of neglected reports that you were supposed to give. 200 years of academic training wasted.
Yes, I have these for you. I'm gonna drop off the 3 vials of... Was it 3 that I got? Or was it more? Let me check. I think I got only 3.
Got 3.
vial of what blood? Purple blood. Yeah, 3 purple worm blood. Yeah.
Pass them off.
Yeah. Distill those for me.
Ah, sure thing. I'll do what I can. What exactly is this?
Purple worm blood.
I'm getting into some serious business.
Yeah, we killed 3 of them.
Did you get any more?
Yes, but Rook has called dibs on it. They're in the storage house. I think there was like 3 jars and 6 vials.
I gave
6
him those
jars and
jars so
13
he could
vials.
get some.
Well, you can sort that out with him.
I'll probably want some.
If you could preserve them, that would be cool.
I'll send 13 up there to steal them later and preserve. Send them back. Won't even know they were gone.
Alright. I did run into some problems.
Jar?
These current vials don't actually preserve blood.
I told you, if you want enchanted ones, it'll cost you 1,000 per, but I can otherwise do.
I assume you don't have any on you right now.
Of course. I gave some to Rook so that he could get me jars and I could make him potions. That's what the jars I gave him do, they preserve stuff.
Fuck.
Those
We might have
jars have a
We
cumulative...
might have lost beholder blood because of that.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, the Venacious horror we fought was a beholder.
Right?
I mean, sort of.
Well, yeah, in a way. We got some of her blood, but it kind of just went bad. And I show him the vial of sludge.
Probably means it was some form of amalgamation of various creatures, probably holding it together. It wasn't a true beholder. In such a case, drinking that would probably kill you.
Yay!
I was gonna ask if the brain would have been useful for anything, but I guess not.
Unless there's worthy intelligence, I can't make it something that'll make you smarter.
We got the brain out, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember because I did obnoxiously
yeah.
well at
You
it.
carved the skull, you cut the eye stalks off, you saw the eye that had missing
put the brain in
shard,
a jar.
you put the brain in a jar.
And we definitely took the big eye, which is
Yes, you took the big eye.
I don't and we established that it no longer does a anti-magic cone by
No, it
pointing
doesn't.
it at something. Okay, so Queglod, get on enchanting that shit, on using that shit for your enchanting. Give Sasha an anti-magic cone. That'll be hilarious.
God. Yeah, I was going to take apart the other eyes as well and look at what they can be done in terms of enchanting. That's the big thing I want to get done. So
You got quiet again.
Better?
Yep.
I explained to Gree what happened with the debrief thingy.
That'll be problematic. Well, if you need to hide, I'm sure the Sanguine Sun will happily take ransom money from you.
Well, problem is, I think the party wants to go to Oregon with the Fletcher.
And why should that be an issue?
I assume that's not going to be a problem for me.
You're the Dawn Marshals and you have a teleportation spell. Why should that be an issue? Things go badly, you get out of them. Not that hard.
I thought they had something to stop that, you know.
They have ways of telling who goes in and out, but they don't have ways of stopping people. Why would they?
I mean, stopping teleportation.
I do. I've never been to Oregon. I don't venture outside of these caves.
True.
If you want to get that kind of information, go there yourself and find out. And hey, if a teleportation doesn't work and you don't come back, I'll get my answer.
Yes, that's probably.
It's not like we have another choice, really, is it?
Any info on 13 tracking down the brain?
Yes, he couldn't find it.
He couldn't.
No, he tracked it a certain way, but it seems something found it first.
So it's still alive, then, potentially.
Quite the opposite.
Oh.
From what I understand, he mentioned something, like you mentioned in your report, about a Aboleth prison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They
right.
seem to have tracked it down. I think you hit one of his weaker guardians for that thing. I wanted 13 to look into trying to capture it, but let's just say 13 didn't come back in the best condition.
Interesting. Thank God we did not hit that.
You fought a purple worm. Don't fight the mechanized version that thing has made. That thing can move far faster than the others, and it devours everything in its path, including 13.
Yeah.
You had to
That's
break out of that place.
Well, thank God we're in in his good books then.
That's good, because me and 13 aren't.
They don't know we're together, do they? That's fine.
Yes,
Can-
when 13 was eaten and taken to the prison, that didn't go down very well when he had to try and break out. Pardon?
What happened when he broke out?
He tried to turn into various creatures to escape, succeeded for the most part, made it to the barrier before that big flaming thing attacked him. Same thing that fought you. He ran as best he could, took a lot of damage, came back to me basically dying. Thankfully that thing doesn't leave the caves. They seem to have a range they can't leave. The exception of the big thing. Which does mean they might come here thinking about it, but should be fine.
I'm sure you can deal with that at that point. Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe. Either way, you've made a very strange friend in there, and I wouldn't call him a friend. He doesn't seem to like intruders.
Well, we kind of, asked him about stuff. He told us about history. And he also gave us a quest to kill a purple dragon.
Why haven't you done that one yet? That
Yeah,
place
no
is a
fucking-
treasure trove of knowledge. If you manage to get into that place and find out half those secrets, that's pre-Arcanium knowledge. That's the origin of magic locked up in that place.
We know where purple dragon is?
Nope.
You have no idea.
No fucking clue.
Then find out.
Then why don't you help us out? His name is what? Let's see.
You have his name written down?
I think I... Hold on.
I love it. It sounds like he's being told off by his parents.
He is. Gree's basically the one who looks after him.
Oh.
Come on, Dad. Why won't you help?
Wait. Maljura's the stolen reality. At least I think so.
Glad you've got that written down, because I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
Well, the only thing that's below
If he's a purple dragon, he's probably in my list of dragons, I think.
Well, that's the only thing that's written below Sildat. So
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's... Oh, no, I found it. Kill Alderag, the purple dragon.
Yes.
Oh, yes, Alderak.
There. It was a
Oh, sorry, I found his I found his profile. I forgot that that's who you're looking for. Okay. Yeah, don't worry.
You can find out anything about it. It'd be pretty fucking...
Sounds
Well,
like a
then,
trip to K-Fox.
Does none of your group know any form of divination magic?
They know...
Scry? You've used that before? Divination, commune? One of them belongs to some form of deity to do with dragons. Why not ask her?
The moment when the DM gets to tell off the party.
Yeah. for being inept.
Gree's intelligent,
Look.
as you may be able to tell.
Look,
Yeah.
we are objectively a lot more inept than we have any right to be.
We have no
be
fucking
fair-
right to be the Dawn Marshal. Let's be
To be
honest.
fair, for my scribes,
Frankly, if I had the choice, I would make Abbott and Gree the Dawn Marshals, and then we'd be set.
Yeah, it's true.
This
Abbott,
Prince
Gree,
of
and
Bloodfucker would
13.
be dead already.
Oh my god, Abbott, Gree, and 13 get to be Dawn Marshals. What happens? Oh, they rule the Empire now.
You know,
It's a blood
honestly,
get reincarnated. Nice.
if I remember correctly, we can't just add people to the Dawn Marshals.
no, they have
Need
to
to be
receive
chosen
One
by
of you
God.
has to die first and then get replaced. So
Luckily, Elsyan.
died.
I'm not allowing agent. I'm not
The
allowing Elsyan to
intelligent
come
one has
back. as
died.
this.
We have a better intelligent one.
Can't have Gree. Gree's mine.
No, Abbott. There's a dirty intelligence gun.
I'm not allowed Abbott either. Abbott's also.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
we already got him on the payroll. We should
Got
at
a
least get
simulacrum on the payroll. Yeah, Elsyan can play a simulacrum wizard who only has one spell slot. One of each spell slot. Once he casts it, it's gone forever.
God.
Yes. You have methods of divination. Yes, it'll cost you a lot, but I'm sure you'll find them. I mean, granted, you're a vanguard, so you're not earning jack all from the organization at the moment, but once you kill the Prince of Blood, there are various things. And if you're hunting down a dragon, it probably has a horde somewhere.
Yeah, the problem becomes if it's a Narcathun.
It's a
I ain't
purple
going there.
dragon. Why would it be in a red dragon fortress?
I have no fucking idea.
Apparently not. There are plenty of
Nothing makes
places.
sense.
There are plenty of places it could be. Given that it's a purple dragon, it might have the ability to just hide itself in magic. In which case, I'd excuse you, but you obviously haven't tried.
Yikes.
That's very
Anyway, I'll get to distilling this blood. You carry on with what you.
yes. If we do end up getting access to that knowledge place, I'll see what we can get out.
Please do. There are probably plenty of things in there I'd like to get. There are plenty of test subjects from what I understand, prisoners from what 13 said, half of which are elephants, and there are plenty of things I can learn from them.
Yeah, I think those are off limits. Not sure.
I mean, look, we got nothing against it.
Oh, I think the Aboleth might have something against it, not us.
I thought the Aboleth hated those fuckers.
That's why they're in prison.
Exactly.
Exactly, that's why it wants to keep them there. Wants to make sure that they're not going to do anything. If you're asking to free prisoners, that's kind of getting a bit much.
But we're also asking to torture them. So, you know, it's kind of like, maybe.
Maybe.
It definitely doesn't like them.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, I'll let you carry on with what you're doing. You're obviously in a rush. But talk to your friends, and if you find out whatever this Alderak thing is, then pursue it. I want to get into that place. And at the very least, I want to clear 13's name.
We'll see what we can do. I assume that was just a misunderstanding between them.
Yes, very much so, but a prisoner still escaped, so, you know, he's still a wanted criminal, technically.
We'll vouch for him.
Well, I hope
Anyway.
it's worth something.
I'll see you later. And I fuck off to Rohal.
Head over to Rahal. You head into the room, you see Rahal is otherwise taking care of various matters, talking the individuals.
I assume none of the Oregon guys are here.
None of them are down here.
Can we speak in private?
This is as private as it needs to be. currently you and Tiark at the table, and there are a few guards around
Oh,
the area.
okay. I thought there was like multiple people there.
No. This is the war room. This is where her and
Oh.
Tiark coordinate what needs to happen around the city.
Alright. This is a letter from Malcom. I haven't read it.
She takes it, peels it open, reads through it. Okay. Glad to see we're on the same page.
What does it say?
I'll let you ask him. He's probably got his reason for saying this, but either way, I agree with. Thank you. Folds the letter up and places it in their pocket.
I believe we're gonna be forced to give out our identity to Oregon.
Have fun.
Well, thanks for your help or advice. See ya.
What advice do you want from me?
I don't know. You probably know that place better than I know. I've never been.
Neither have I.
Had people come from there.
Yes, I did. And they work in various places. One of whom works in your tavern. Why not ask him?
Why is everyone so fucking mad?
You're asking stupid questions.
Nag. We've got a lot on our plate, Gray. Give us the benefit of the doubt here.
I believe your courier comes from Oregon. Hold on. I'm gonna double check this, but I'm fairly sure you have someone who comes from Oregon as a
Bern, the company you keep, they're all such riveting. Oh my god.
I want nothing to do with this fucking.
Yep. Munk Drez, your orc caravaneer who does shipments to and from and around the city, otherwise came from Oregon as his original place of work. I have a document for this, which I've shared with you all.
Alright then, I've brought the letter. I'll make my way out.
Very well. Gives you a nod.
Just wait till they fucking ask about what kind of dealings you've been doing and I spill everything.
If Rook knows about it, then he would have.
Okay.
Alright. Anything else I need to do in town? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Unless I'm remembering wrong.
Okay. You teleport back. Loop, you arrive in Tower Keen. No need to do anything or roll because it's an on-target. Land in the center of Tower Keen. The rest of your party is there. You see that the tables and chairs are being put out.
Can I have one of the enchanted jars?
For 1,000 gold?
Buy.
Oh, you offer a jar or a vial?
Or a vial, yeah. Sorry.
Vial? Okay. So you have 1,000 gold for a preserving vial.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just take 1,000 gold out of your inventory.
I did.
You grab that, teleport back to Tower Key, carry on your way. Malcom, as you're making food, the chef is looks to be a rather large and stocky man, kind of reminds you of Angus in a way. As he proceeds to work on various things. Let's see. The majority of the meals here, as you kind of look over them, he's not the best cook. However, he does have one thing that he is very, very good at, and that is making marmalade.
Marmalade.
And you see that the majority of his stocks, as you go into the pantry and get a look at the stuff, it is primarily marmalade, like hundreds of jars. This is kind of what we got. We do other things as well. We got meats, vegetables, that kind of thing. Everything to keep the soldiers in the best shape possible and like that. We got potato sauce, stuff like that. But marmalade's what I'm good at, so I make marmalade sandwiches for most of the workers for their lunch.
Well, considering that this is supposed to be a feast, you mind if I help spice it up a little bit, help get everybody's spirits
Of
up?
course, I'm not just going to have marmalade sandwiches for the feast, although that'd be a lot easier to prepare. But I'll be working with various materials, meats, vegetables. I imagine you're proficient in this, seeing as you've come to me saying that you're going to help.
Yeah, I've done my fair share of cooking.
Well, it's up to you. Either way, the other chefs will be going about their business. You can either follow their instruction, or you can try and do your own custom things. That's up to you.
I'm going out with a whole slew of Barrenland cuisine.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me I'll say a
And I'm
cooking
using my own stuff.
Okay. Use a cooking utensils check for me. I'll say this uses up how much of your provisions do you wish to use up here?
I'm
In
Well,
mind, you bought
considering
provisions
we're
for the next
going-
2 months for your party. How many
Yeah.
days do you wish to take off that?
Let's go 10 days.
Okay. That'll feed about 60 people, which is a large portion of the garrison. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a cooking utensils check. I will say with advantage. Actually, no, correction. With a re-roll, given that you will be receiving minor assistance from the other chefs and the head chef. So if you wish to re-roll it, you may.
Just
So roll
checking
once.
Yep. I'm just checking my plus real quick.
Re-roll it if you.
I do not want to.
Okay. You don't want to fish for that 20?
Plus 12. That's with a plus 12.
So that's 31. Okay. You work on tirelessly for the better portion of the day, working with some of the other chefs and designing various things. Some of them begin to copy a little bit more of what you're doing, and the head chef kind of mingles over to the various things you're doing, using some of their supplies to copy your recipes as you proceed to cook and make beautiful things for the feast over the next course of the day and a half. You go to sleep covered in sweat from the working day, wake up, wash, carry on, preparing for the feast at noon, and bring it to the table. We'll get to that feast when we get there. But Queglod, what would you like to do?
So I'd like to process all of the eyes for enchanting purposes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a d20.
Yeah, it's been a while since I don't recall exactly how long this takes, but
I believe it takes, because I've done a little bit of adjustments to the system since.
Right.
The extracting aspects is more of a unique thing for you, so I'll say that just roll a d20 to see how much of it you manage to gather. Higher is better.
Cool.
But it won't destroy an item or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I simplified the system shortly after
That's
the
fair.
adjustment.
Yeah, that's enough.
You proceed to take a number of the eyes and getting a look at them. Quite a lot of them have the same kind of enchantment. A lot of the effects seem to have come from the brain or the central eye. Suggesting that instead of having individual effects, they have a communal effect which they otherwise were more specialized to. As you begin to kind of disenchant them and take the different pieces of them to better understand it, you could probably use these to store spells. It's probably the best way to look at it. Or to potentially use them to create wands using spells that you utilize to a more natural fashion.
Right, so the eyes were more channeling.
Yes.
Aspects of the main. Okay, and that's how they were quick enchant.
Yes.
Okay, that seems workable.
Yep. And did you want to disenchant the main eye?
Yeah, I'll have a go at that as well.
Okay. Give me a d20 roll for that, please. Okay.
Bit better.
You take the main eye and you begin to kind of look into the various aspects. A number of the aspects are fairly common. You see things like sight and various sensory ones, as well as levels of magic being picked up in there, and the locked aspect of anti-magic. The locked aspect, however, in the method with which it is locked, seems to be tied to one of the other aspects, which is the sight, meaning the only way to create anti-magic with the eye, you have to rely on the sight of the creature. Meaning you'd have to find a way to replace someone's eye with this.
Okay, interesting.
But potentially a method to create an anti-magic cone. The nature of it, the enchantment, the level of this that you'd be looking at would be something far beyond anything you've naturally done before. Looking at how this would affect somebody, to physically perform a medical enchantment surgery to replace someone's eye with a magical enchantment of this degree would require insane levels of skill. Because if you got it wrong, you've ruined somebody's eye, and the enchantment doesn't stick. Your mind immediately goes to Rahal, on the other hand.
Yeah.
Because she's getting her eye replaced with a gem which will function in the same manner, as she's otherwise prepared some things for that. Potentially something to bring up. The surgical level would be a lot lower because you'd just be putting it in and you'd enchant it onto an object to replace the eye. But the enchantment itself could be extremely strong if it were to succeed. If not, potentially don't lose anything from previously enchanting it with the Devil's Sight as you planned.
Yeah.
So, there are a few options. So, as each of you goes about your business over the next few days, you gather yourselves, performing various tasks, scouting, talking to people, and just doing what you would usually do. You finally reach the day when the feast begins. As you sleep over the course of the night, Sasha, if you wish to do a fine intervention, you're welcome to do so.
I think we both know I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah!
That is a 1.
That is a crit. It doesn't really matter, but
Doesn't
holy
matter.
fuck.
As you... Okay, I need to change the music for this.
Cold
Would you-
snap!
Oh.
Okay. Not quite.
I fucking told you guys I'd do it!
I mean, if you did it every day, it would happen eventually.
As you wake up in the morning, the
Doing
nightmare
like P.
coming to
Diddy.
you, the nightmare coming to you once again. Through the night, you wake up, but this time you don't feel as scared. A strange peace lingers over you. You sit up in your bed, you get out and you kneel down, lighting the incense and communing with Turan, asking for help. During the middle of the night, the rest of you are here. During the middle of the night, as this occurs, I will say, Malcom, you wake up once more, but you watch as you see Sasha get up and kneel down during the middle of the night. Wish to intervene at all, or are you just going to watch?
Well, I've seen her do this a couple of times. So I'm just gonna watch and see what happens.
Okay. You watch as she kneels down, praying for Elsyan to come back. You hear the words being muttered, and with the silence of this room, it's lightly haunting. Before you watch as Sasha's hair begins to slightly flutter, and the room temperature begins to slightly increase. As Sasha, you hear the words, "I cannot return him to you, but I can give you the device to do so."
That is all I ask.
At that moment, you feel an intense burning sensation shoot through your arm. As Malcom, you watch as her right arm bursts into flame. You watch as she sits there, as she's kneeling there, Her left hand grasps her wrist as you watch as across the surface of her palm and the lower portion of her arm, through the wrist and down the forearm, you watch as the flame burns runes into her skin. The sound of the screeching and the bubbling of the skin as it tears away, revealing these runes as they form across her arm. This will help you. You will need what is required, but this is what you ask for. Pay me in a miracle worthy of my name. And the divine intervention succeeded. You look down at your arm and you immediately recognize this as a one-time use of True Resurrection. You still need the material components, and when you use this, you will lose 10 hit points from your maximum permanent.
I'll take that. You know, I'm bringing someone back from the fucking dead.
You'll need 25,000 GP's worth of diamonds to do so, but it's worked.
Well, good thing we got an extra 12,000 already.
And divine intervention succeeded, so it is now off for a week.
Oh, that stings like a bitch, though. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Malcom.
Hi.
Hello. So, good news. It's going to cost a bit, but, well, I can bring back Elsyan. Or someone else, frankly, but Elsyan's kind of the main concern.
Or someone else.
We just go and bring back someone else.
So
Go back right now.
So Sam,
Okay.
your new. So Sam, they got access to the True Resurrection. Oh yeah, does that mean that Elsyan's back? No, you're now playing Chronicle, as he's now been brought back to life by Sasha. Or no, you're now playing Behold. You now go from a 20 intelligence character to a 6 intelligence character.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't fucking tempt me. Like,
Oh man.
okay,
You know what?
I mean,
If Behold gets resurrected, he can have Bern.
No, Behold and Chronicle distinctly can't, given that they
I know.
rejected it. But yeah.
God.
Yeah. Goes without saying, but let me know before you're about to do this so I can free his soul.
oh yeah. No,
That could cause problems otherwise.
Yeah. Right. So, that's good. I've got True Resurrection now. Once. And it'll cost me some of my vitality. Yeah. I'll probably lose a year of life or something. I've had worse.
I mean, that cavern down there was full of this purple worm stuff. Reckon they'd notice if we just snuck down there and just cast it down there using what's already down there.
Main thing is that what you've got is unrefined stuff. You're still going to need to break it out of its chunks. Is it proper?
But
It's not just here's a block of 1,000 GP. Slam. All right, I'm going to use that in my enchanting. You need to break it up and grind it down and make it the appropriate size to be utilized.
so how much money has everyone got?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Right. So now we just need to gather up a fuck ton of money. So, you know, completing those bounties. Good idea.
Yeah, about that. Could you use one of your scries real quick?
Sure. I'm feeling pretty happy. Sure, I'll spend a spell slot.
You want me to do it?
What am I scrying?
You want me to do it?
Alright, I don't mind. You know that purple dragon that Babyleth told us about? Kind of just forgot about?
Below?
Oh,
Is that
yeah,
Aleuir?
that dragon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Aleuir.
Better not be Alduin, otherwise we'd be verging on copyright infringement.
Also very true.
Right. Yeah, I can scry. What do you need scried, my dude? I'm in a good fucking mood.
Aleuir, the purple dragon. Malcom is gonna.
Right. Who is that? Do I know who that is?
I'll do it.
It's the dragon the Avaleth told us to kill that escaped from his prison.
Oh. Okay.
You see, 13 had an unfortunate accident with him. He may have been in the prison, escaped.
Are you going to try and
Yes.
scry on Eldorak?
Yeah. Malcolm is more than welcome to go ahead. Obviously we can only do one at a time, so.
Yep. Okay. So, keep in mind the being immune to it is party wide, because otherwise you could get a bunch of divination wisdom.
Yeah.
So it would only be one person per day.
Sasha, could you scry on the blind butcher if you get a chance?
I can.
Thank you.
So, Eldorak, you're doing it, Malcolm?
Yes.
DC is 20.
Yes.
As you go to scry, you hear the name, never met the person. It seems to be that it's going to be a lot harder for you to grasp onto something like this. As you go and try and scry, succeed, and spell fail.
I can try again another day.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Meanwhile, I will be spending one of my thingamabobbers to do a do-hicker-majig
Scry
on the blind book.
on the blind butcher.
Mm-hmm.
You go to scry, spell fails.
I must still be in hell then.
You.
There's a number of reasons. They either succeeded the
That
save,
doesn't stop scrying, does it?
they are either in another plane of existence, they are dead,
Oh,
the creature saved, or other reasons.
I have an amulet against divination.
Or an amulet against divination, yeah.
Forgot about them.
all right. Well,
Malcom, what
Yes.
was in that letter you sent to Rohal?
Oh, yes. After hearing what Rook said, I put in the letter to keep an eye on, asking her if she can keep an eye on the guy running the new guy running the upper city. As Rook was saying, what he was saying, it seemed a little suspicious of what happened, and so I don't really trust the dude. So I was asking if she would keep an eye on him.
She said she agreed and she was on the same page.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
As you go out during the day, sit down, you enjoy the feast, talking to the rest of the guards. There's a celebration as the general stands up and goes, "To our friends, the Dawn Seekers, for helping us in defeating the creatures which otherwise assailed this fortress. Now we may all rest, peace and knowing, and this feast is commemorated to them." As he raises a glass, all of the others lift their mugs and cheer. As the food is brought out, the Barrenland cuisine, which all of you enjoy, it is a marvelous meal for all of you,
Been at home.
as it reminds you of home. And for those of you who haven't really, you've experienced Malcolm's cooking, and it's good, but he's got a lot of experience when it comes to cooking Barrenland, and where you get a minor taste of that on every morning breakfast. This is a much more glorious taste. There are quite a lot of use of spices in the correct manners, a lot of natural vegetables and meats that are used in different blends to work well together. And the food overall is also rather finger foodish in some weird manner. There's not as much use of a knife and fork as you might otherwise expect. but it's otherwise a very wonderful platter and variety of foods and treats. As you eat the meal, you look forward to the day ahead. As you're handed the letter, sent on your way, know roughly where you'll be headed next. That is where we will stop for the night. So, we'll pick up next week for heading to the Mudland Dock via Windwalk today. Hope you didn't use up a...
Wait, no, wait, I thought we were after.
no, we decided that we're going after Oregon.
Oh, you decided you were going there after Oregon. Okay.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
So we'll be teleporting over to Sasha's city.
Okay, in which case we'll get to that next session. Yeah.
Alright.
So, as the party prepares to head to Oregon, otherwise moving ahead with their journey and giving me some time to prep, thankfully, the party gathers themselves. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.